best, and you've got the best. The funniest comedian in the world. The greatest truth teller. The greatest truth teller who ever lived. The funniest man in the world. Give it up for the one, the only, Jake the Awake. Oh, there I am. What's going on? All right. Bet you guys were thinking that I might not show up. Well, you thought wrong. You guys ready to have some fun tonight? Check out my new toy back here. Yeah. Gonna have a lot of fun tonight. I hope you guys are ready to have a good time. Hope all my party people are ready to have some fun tonight. All right. Boo, boo, boo. So what's up, you guys? How's it going? Welcome to a Saturday night edition of Jake live streaming. Yeah. All right. Jason G up in the house says hello. All right. Gus D's or Gus Dies says, hi, what doing? Hi, what doing? I'm streaming. That's what I'm doing. All right. John is here. One of my beautiful moderators says, hello, Jake. Or she says, hi, Jake. That's the short version of hello. It's hi. I don't know if you guys knew that. She says, hi, Jake and friends. All right. Lee Manel, what's up, bro? It's been a while since I've seen Lee Manel here. It's been a while. He says, ha, 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 ha. Great start, Jake. We're off and running. Yes, we are. All right. All right, looks like somebody wants me to do a certain thing that we do around here. And if we are going to do it, I'm going to want to activate a different mode on my lightsaber stick lamp. Let me activate a different mode to set the mood. There we go. We'll speed it up. See, look at this. Getting fancy up in here. All right. You guys ready? Up. Holy shit. It's been a while since I did a was up. So I thought it was about time I did one. Now we've got that out of the way. Whew. You know you're getting old when a was up takes the breath out of you. Either that or I just expend an exorbitant amount of energy when I do that. So, yeah, we'll just go with that. Yeah. All right. Still got it. Still got it. All right. So, Mark Dice promoted Jones. Is that what we're talking about? Congratulations. You read the title and you guessed correctly. That's one of the things we're going to talk about. But it's going to branch into other shit, you know, like Alex Jones being replaced by some new character. I have to reiterate that it is not Bill Hicks any longer, if it ever was. There's a new guy playing the Jones role. Yeah, the new guy has blue eyes, light-colored eyes. And the old AJ had brown eyes. Well, that's because he wears contact lens, Jake. No, it's not because he fucking wears contact lens. All right. Good times. Starting off the show. Let me pull up my watch page. It was echoing, so I had to shut it off real quick. Now I can check it and see who the hell's here and what the hell's going on. Looks like I got a new member. Clay on the Plane. Welcome, new member. Speaking of members only content, I'm going to be doing a members only stream very soon. You'll either become a member or not get to participate. It's one of those deals. And becoming a member is cheap. I only charge $2 a month. So consider becoming a member and supporting non-AI, supporting a real, genuine channel. All right. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? What do you guys think? Should we go with red? Oh, wait, I can't do red and blue because people will say that I'm promoting right versus left. Now I can't do that. I got to do something like, like green, right? Now nobody can say I'm promoting right versus left through the use of red and blue colors. See, the thing is, when you're a professional truth teller, you're not allowed to suddenly change your background to fucking orange. Otherwise, people will be like, oh, orange, this is a Masonic color. I'm like, oh, fuck, my bad here. It's red. Okay? Forget that you saw orange for a second, bro. In fact, you know what? Red's too close. I think I'm just going to go blue. There. Just blue. All right. Is that okay? All right. That's the thing about being a truth teller. You're not allowed to ever have anything orange show up. It will discredit all of the work you've done, right? So I've been telling the truth and doing this for 10 years, right? And if I accidentally showed up with an orange shirt, people would be like, oh, I knew this guy was a shill. So that limits what I can do. I've even heard that purple's bad. Like purple's the color of royalty. So it's like, fuck, I can't use purple. Not allowed to use purple. I do like the blue-green combo, though. Yeah. All right. Just joking around while people show up before I get into the first topic of the night. All right. So yeah, Mark Dice put out a new video. People have asked if I'm related to Mark Dice. The answer is no. In fact, gonna expose that motherfucking shill tonight. Yeah. And popular conspiracy theory. I don't know if this is true or not. Some say Mark Dice is River Phoenix. You guys ever heard that one? River Phoenix, the actor. Supposedly he died and then became Mark Dice. We'll look into that. I don't have 100% confirmation on that sort of a thing. Even though the old pictures of River Phoenix and the current Mark Dice, there is a resemblance for sure. But I can't like for sure say that that guy is that guy. Nonetheless, very interesting stuff. AJ Native with a super chat, first super chat of the night, asking about the picks. You know what? I had a slightly bad week last week. People started to complain and disrespect me. So I looked at the slate of games. And you know what? I just didn't really feel like making any picks. So I just am not gonna. And if I feel like making any picks later in the year, I will. And if I don't, I won't. And if anyone doesn't like that, too damn bad. Go find one of those guys who talks about defensive stats and the injury report. And we'll tell you, you know, which team beat which team however many times in a row. I'm sure those guys will help you win. All right. But this is a non-football stream, so I ain't going to be talking about football tonight. Sorry to disappoint any of the disgruntled football fans. I will put out the top 10 most rigged plays of the week, but this is not a pick'em show, and there won't be any football pick'em talk here tonight. First Amendment said solid green background. All right, buddy. If you're paying for it, I guess we could do that. Ba-boom, boom. There you go. Green, green, if you know what I mean. All right. Thank you, First Amendment, for your background suggestion and donation. Hopefully this pleases you. All right. So let's get to the first video, shall we? We'll start knocking this thing down. I got several videos to show you, a lot of different information, and it's all going to kind of tie together with a lot of the same familiar characters. Trump, Alex Jones, Mark Dice, all going to cross-promote each other, cross-pollinate. All right, so I got to go to the first video, or last video, excuse me, that Mark Dice put out. All right, got it all set up here. And away we go.
Alex Jones is back on YouTube 7 years after being banned, not just from YouTube, but in a coordinated effort from all the big tech platforms to unperson him for wrongthink. At least as of right now, when I'm recording this video late Wednesday night about 11:30 p.m. So stay tuned, because let's just say I had some advanced knowledge that there was a plan in the works that I can now tell you about. Since YouTube admitted earlier this week under congressional pressure that they censored countless videos and channels for political reasons, people talking about the lack of integrity in electronic voting machines, questioning the outcome of the 2020 presidential election, people opposing the lockdowns and questioning the safety and effect.
All right, so he doesn't start off by saying that Alex Jones is controlled opposition, does he? No, he does not. Does he say that this recent version of Alex Jones is different than the old Alex Jones character, and that it's definitely not Bill Hicks anymore, if it ever was? Oh, no, he's not going to say anything about that. Instead, he opens up by talking about how Alex Jones is back here on YouTube. Right? So he doesn't mention anything about Alex Jones being controlled opposition. Gee, it's almost like he's promoting Alex Jones returning to YouTube.
Of the wonderful COVID-19 vaccine. They did also admit that they are going to be restoring those channels and videos. And so Alex Jones decided to put them in a pinch by starting a new channel, Alex Jones Live, which I will leave linked up down in the description below. Go.
Okay, so apparently this channel's already been taken down. So he promotes this channel, And then from what I've heard, I haven't been over there to actually check, but I've heard in the comment section that they took the channel down already, which wouldn't surprise me. Then they can continue to push the narrative that Alex Jones is being censored. But look, they're using the old picture of AJ, the Bill Hicks possibly version. And then they got the new imposter version. So they're giving you both versions of AJ to try and keep the illusion alive that he hasn't been replaced. So here's the direct promotion of his channel. Oh, there you go. So Frank Nardiello, I guess he missed the beginning of the stream. I'm not making any picks in this stream, and I don't feel like making any picks this week. Maybe I'll never make any picks ever again. I don't know. If I feel like it, I will, and if I don't, I won't. Thank you, Frank. But yeah, too many people complain if I have a slightly bad week. People lose their mind and decide to show up to my live streams and disrespect me. So yeah, you can thank all the complainers. They ruined it. All right. So let me get back to this, which has nothing to do with football. And I'm not going to talk about football for the rest of the stream. Just letting you guys know. Okay. Because this is more important than fucking football picks. It really is. I'm going to tie it into the fucking president being replaced by AI. And this goddamn shill on screen ain't saying nothing about that. He ain't exposing nothing about Trump being AI, which is more important than any fucking football game. So if anybody's here just waiting for football information, you ain't going to get it.
Oh, and subscribe to it now. You know what the Dice Army is capable of doing. You know what we've done with other channels that are underappreciated, like Carmen JC and Alex Stein. And so right now, it has only 21,000 subscribers.
He just promoted Alex Stein, y'all.
To it now. You know what the Dice Army is capable of doing.
You know what the Dice Army is capable of doing. You know what the Dice Army, what's the Dice Army? Oh, his legion of fanboys who will go sub to anyone he fucking says in the snap of a finger. Go sub to this guy. Dice, I'm Dice, and you're my army. If you're part of the Dice Army, sub. Because I told you to. And what's he going to tell them to do?
You know what we've done with other channels that are underappreciated. Like,
you know what they've done with other channels that are underappreciated. Oh, like who?
Like Carmen JC and Alex Stein.
Carmen JC, I don't even know who that is, but it's a shill. And Alex Stein, I know who the fuck that is. That's the flamer who dresses up in women's bathing suits and goes out in public, right? Yeah, the guy who hung out with Jaron Campanella, the shill agent flat earther from the controlled flat earth rollout. Yeah, I know who that is. Also hung out with David Weiss, right? So yeah, I know all about Alex Stein.
Part-time 99 on Going There Time. I was underappreciated, and Mark Dice gave me a shout out. So I got lots of sounds from Mark Dice. Hey, Part-time 99, you know I'm going on time all day. I'm a people living shrimp from Part-time 999 right now.
And so right now, it has only 21,000 subscribers. That is if it's still up at the time that you're watching this video, because what is happening here is he's going to force their hand to show their cards. Are they going to allow him back on the platform now that we've shifted the culture quite a bit in terms of censorship? They've admitted that they've been censoring people for political reasons. Or are they going to ban his new channel and then prove themselves to be a bunch of liars and hypocrites?
So apparently this channel gets shut down. And so now he gets to be right about YouTube proving themselves to be liars and hypocrites, right? So they make the guy like Alex Jones seem legit because he's being censored on YouTube, right? You hear about him all the time on the mainstream news, right? He's not really censored, but like if a platform pretends to be against him, then that makes people think he has credibility. Such bullshit. So nothing coming out of Mark Dice's mouth about Alex Jones being controlled opposition. Nothing but promotion so far has come out of his mouth. Just straight up telling his Dice army to go support this channel.
Especially since the entire liberal media industrial complex and the Marxist Democrats in Congress are claiming that they now support free speech after rallying behind Jimmy Kimmel, claiming that his show was censored by ABC because they suspended him for a few days because he spit on Charlie Kirk's grave.
Yeah, so he's not going to talk about the Kirk thing and tell you the truth about that, right? No. Instead, he's going to go after the left-wing guy and make him sound like he's a bad guy. Oh, that left-wing guy on TV who didn't cry over the Kirk thing. We know he's a bad guy.
If this report you're seeing on YouTube right now gets taken down, well, know that you can go find it later at Real Hog Shows on X and Band.video and other places like Rumble. But this is a major issue.
Whoa. Ding, ding. There you go. There we go. A little 666 action. No, Jake, he's just saying everything's A-okay.
Because they're claiming that.
Whoa, there's another one. Whoa. Whoa, what's that? What's that right there? There's the second one.
They've stopped the censorship, but they haven't. Facebook claimed 3 months ago we could come back, wouldn't let us back. So we'll see if this is actually happening. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't automatically mean that Alphabet and Eric Schmidt are lying. It means that just the default settings and the censors that are in there have done this. That's why we're going to draw attention to it. But if this gets pulled down today, and in a month from now it hasn't been corrected, we'll give them some time. Now we know that they have lied to Congress, just like Comey did.
All right, so this is the new version of Alex Jones. It is not the same as the old AJ. I noticed differences in the looks. I noticed differences in the personality, major differences in the personality. People say, oh, he just took Ozempic and got thinner. No, the mannerisms don't match the old Alex Jones. And you don't just suddenly change all your mannerisms and your speech pattern and your look all at once. And you can't blame something like Ozempic for like changing the way somebody has acted for a number of years. So I was going to later tonight show you guys some old Alex Jones footage. And we can even look and compare pictures of Bill Hicks, old Alex Jones, young Alex Jones, and the current Alex Jones. And then we can ask ourselves, who the hell is Alex Jones at this point? Because it definitely ain't Bill Hicks anymore. This is some other guy here. In fact, I think they're also using AI technology along with, I don't know, like some sort of mask even. So I think we're getting a hyper-realistic mask being used in this situation, as well as like some AI, CGI layering type technology. So I can't tell you exactly how they're pulling off the switcheroo for sure. But what I can tell you is this version of Alex Jones is not the same guy as it was from just a few years ago. Deshay64 said, Jake, will you help AJ to improve his impression?
Well, folks, I remember the old Alex Jones. He had a little bit more of a professional wrestler's mentality. Like he would reach right down there and grab the deep state by their freaking throats. He was going to choke the life out of them deep state son of a bitches. And then he's going to grind them up, going to haul them up, going to slice them up. And he's going to feed his commie-ass enemies. He's going to feed them to his kids like little baby birds. Going to nibble up pieces of my neighbor's ass. He's one of them goddamn frickin' liberals. I'm going to grind up his ass into little baby bits, and I'm going to feed little baby bits of my neighbor's ass to my children. We will not go hungry. We will not stand alone here, defeated by you evil commie motherfucker.
See, that was old AJ. New AJ is like,
folks, I don't know what we're going to do. I think I'm going to puke. If they don't, if we can't, I'm going to puke.
right? There's this new castrated version of AJ where he like makes these weird facial expressions. Right? We're going to watch later. We'll watch AJ's latest crash out and we'll compare and contrast old AJ and new AJ. That's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt it ain't the same AJ as it used to be. They got a new guy in there. And as far as I know, I'm the leading guy, the leading conspiracy YouTube guy, truth teller dude that talks about this subject. And also, I believe I am at the forefront of the AI Trump truth as well. They're using AI to represent the president of the United States. I think that's a big deal. I think people should be freaking out over it. So as far as these two topics go, I am at the forefront of these truths. So you're listening to the guy who knows this subject best, who's talking about it. There's no other person talking about this the way I do and breaking it down the way I do. So let's get back to doing it.
Now we know that they have lied to Congress, just like Comey did.
And contrary to popular belief, he was not banned from the big tech platforms because of his comments on that school shooting, which they tried to blame him for. He actually was banned 2 years before that lawsuit was even filed, before that lawfare started. He actually was banned for a series of bogus strikes because they wanted to get rid of him because he was so viral, so compelling, so informative, so cutting edge.
They wanted to get rid of him because he was so compelling and he was so awesome. Yeah, get on down there and lick his taint a little more, will ya? They wanted to get rid of him because he was so compelling, so charismatic, and I love you, Trump. Right? Get on down there and suck him off a little more, why don't you? Mark Dicey Poo, River Phoenix.
The first strike came when he called drag queens who are performing in front of children demons, not allowed. You know, we've moved the Overton window, quite a bit, but back then you weren't allowed to dare disparage the new transgender. President Trump had that first assassination attempt, where he had this to say.
What will they do to him?
He is a man who gets stronger.
So this is the old AJ character. This was the Alex Jones from like a year ago, right? So I think it's been like a year since they replaced Alex Jones. This was the big tubby Alex Jones. If it was Bill Hicks, then this is that same version. So they're showing you the old AJ here, and then they're splicing it with the new AJ as well. So the first clip they showed, this one, this is the new imposter Alex Jones. And this is the old Alex Jones character, possibly Bill Hicks.
No mistake about that. They are going to try to pull out all the stops. And so we've got to pray for President Trump.
Well, there goes another dollar in the Alex Jones was right jar.
All right, so there's direct promotion. There's another dollar in the Alex Jones was right jar. Yeah, there's something you'd never see me say. If you saw me sucking Trump's taint or Alex Jones' taint the way he just did in this video, then you would definitely know I am on the bad guy side, right? Just like you should definitely know this guy is on the bad guy side. Speaking of this guy, I see Rose asking about the River Phoenix thing. So we'll just go ahead and go that route real quick. So there is a popular theory that deceased child actor River Phoenix became Mark Dice. He was in the movie Stand By Me, right? And there is a resemblance there, for sure. So, could that be a possibility? Sure. But regardless, one thing we do know, Mark Dice is promoting Alex Jones and Trump, doing some hardcore taint licking. So look, here's an IMDb like listing: Hollywood death fakers, the story of River Phoenix, exploring conspiracy theories and rumors behind the death of River Phoenix. So they even have, I guess, a documentary about it. Weird. Wonder how truthful that is. So I can't say for sure that that guy's that guy, but there it is. Yeah, I don't know about that either. So that's why I'm not going to make any for sure claims about that. But what I will say is that he's a shill because he's promoting Trump and he's promoting Alex Jones. And Alex Jones is one of the easiest controlled oppositions to spot. So if somebody at this point is directing their dice army to go follow Alex Jones, I mean, come on, he's making it pretty obvious what side he's on. So, where else did I want to go from here? Oh, yeah. Let's watch Alex Stein bring Mark Dice on his show. We'll listen to what those two guys talk about, just in case anyone needs any more to make any connections that this dude's a total shill who promotes other shills. And what do I always tell you? Shills of a feather flock together. All right. So check it out. You got Culture Jamming with Mark Dice, Alex Stein, Mark Dice. What are they talking about?
So let's get in a little bit of some of these topics. Alex Jones is back on Twitter. Initial thoughts.
Fantastic. And I've been hammering Elon since day one because I'm not an Elon fanboy. I will praise him when he does good things, but I'll criticize him when he needs criticism. And there's still plenty of things to criticize him about. And
For sure. Wait, Mark, I had to cut you off.
Whoa. Yeah, let's cut him off because he said it was fantastic.
With you, but I just want to say that I'm so appreciative of it. So let's get in a little bit of some of these topics. Alex Jones is back on Twitter. Initial thoughts.
Fantastic. And
Alex Jones is back on Twitter. Fantastic, right? So this guy is a total Alex Jones fanboy. He goes on Alex Stein's show. This was a year ago, back or 2023. So to go on Alex Stein's show and promote Alex Jones, that literally makes you a fucking shill. What normal, genuine guys do stuff like that? Oh, I'm a total regular dude, truth teller like you, and I'm going to talk about how Alex Jones being back on Twitter is fantastic, and I'm going to talk about that on Alex Stein's show. You know, like a totally normal bro would do, right? So how come he would hang out with a scumbag like this, but not call him out for wearing women's bathing suits and shit out in public, right? So the fact that you can connect these two dudes back together, you can connect Alex Stein back to Jeranism, back to David Weiss, connect Mark Dice back to possibly Hollywood if he was River Phoenix. The war on conservatives. Oh, yes, there's a war on conservatives.
Roku's self-serve ads platform.
This looks like I got to renew my premium membership. From a quick word from our sponsor.
that business previously, they would literally, these agencies would post deceptive ads on Craigslist or pose as modeling agencies. And then once the girls were in there, they would say, oh, by the way, we have this other division where you can make more money and you can do these other things.
All right. So Alex Stein, of course, he's famous for doing a bunch of flamer stuff. He did a bunch of humiliation rituals, such as wearing a woman's bathing suit. Just in case any of you forgot about that, I'll show just a quick clip so that we can see the type of people that Mark Dice hangs out with. Right? So Alex Stein here, wearing a woman's bathing suit out in public. Right? Bending over, acting like a flamer. Right? So this is his humiliation ritual. This is the stuff that got him promoted by Tucker Carlson, promoted by Mark Dice. He used to be a co-host along with Dave Weiss on Jaron Campanella's show on Jaronism, whose channel is essentially dead now. All right. So Dice doesn't have any credibility whatsoever. Can't imagine any of you guys here still wanting to follow a guy like that and still wanting to listen to a guy like that who has no credibility. Kelly says, oh my God, that's disgusting. See, there's people who give Alex Stein a pass and call him a comedian. And they'll say, oh, no, he did that to make fun of the left. He did that to make fun of the Transformers. Like, no, you can't put on a woman's bathing suit out in public and consider the left the ones who are being made fun of in that situation. No, you're directly making yourself look like the fool, right? So it's like, are you going to make fun of gay people by having gay sex? Like, oh, I'm going to go have gay sex in front of some gay people to make fun of them, right? What doesn't that make you gay, right? Like, are you going to like suck a dick in a condescending way to like irritate a liberal gay guy and be like, ooh, I really stuck it to this liberal gay guy by sucking a dick in a condescending way. I was sucking a dick in a mocking manner, and I totally got the left all pissed off. Right? So what's the difference if you're going to dress up like in a woman's bathing suit? Is that really comedy? Back in the 90s, they used to pass off acting like a flamer as comedy, and movie-going audiences would eat it up. And then in the early 2000s, the Jackass guys would do a bunch of gay stuff, and they passed that off as comedy. And then people with a brain finally started waking up to it, like, oh, they're totally shoving gay stuff in our face all the time on purpose. Oh, I get what they're doing now. So now if I see old shows, you know, in living color where they're just acting gay on purpose for laughs, or like the Jackass guys, you know, doing gay stuff with each other for laughs. Now I see the agenda. So anybody trying to think, oh, well, Alex Stein wearing that woman's bathing suit was all in the name of comedy. No, it's not funny. There's no comedy there. Any man can put on a bathing suit and go do that. It doesn't make it funny, no matter how fat and out of shape the man is. Once you put on the bathing suit, it's really fucking a hack, disgusting thing to do. So that's why I consider myself a real comedian. I can take serious concepts, serious conspiracies, and find something funny about it and make you guys laugh. And I can take nothing at all and just make funny faces and make funny noises and make you guys laugh. I have physical comedy skill, and I have the creative ability to do different impressions and transcend this realm with my comedy. I am the funniest comedian in the world. And I find this repulsive shit they call comedy, and these men who they promote as comedians, I find it fucking repulsive that they get so much attention and that people accept it. True Metal Jake, cool name, True Metal Jake, said Mark Dice thinks he's edgy because he covertly criticized the Jays on his YouTube channel. Did you see the new AJ shaved himself a Chaplin stash? I saw a thumbnail of that, but I thought somebody just edited the thumbnail to look like that. I didn't know he actually did that. I thought somebody was just making a thumbnail of him with the man with the mustache stash. Yeah, we don't like to say that one word. It can get you flagged. Yeah, that's what they do to trick people into thinking that somebody's anti-J, is to have them like pretend to be anti-J while they promote everything on the world stage as being real, right? They promote the Kirk thing as being real. Oh, but they're anti-J, supposedly. They promote the boogeyman disease as being real, right? A deadly boogeyman disease, right? Oh, but they're against the Jays. They're against the jab. Thank you very much, True Metal Jake. I really appreciate the donation. Looks like I might have missed the super chat as well. Let me go back and get it. Thank you for reminding me of any missed super chats. I had a missed super chat last week. I'm going to have to read it later on. Hopefully, Replacement Skylights shows up because I missed his super chat last week or on Tuesday. Suffocation Vacation said, "Sing Jake the Awake exposes the fake as Roseanne." Jake the Awake exposes the fake. Is that like a song? I'm going to have to make up a song because I don't remember ever singing that if I did.
All right. Are you guys ready to hear me sing? Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Jake the Awake exposes the fake because he is the funniest motherfucker on YouTube. I almost love him as much as I love Trump. And I'm so fat I look like I'm about to take a dump because I am. I'm about to go take a dump right now. I wish Trump was here to eat my ass.
What? That's gross, Jake. We didn't need to hear that. All right. That's how I chase away my audience. Or make them laugh. One or the other. All right. All right. Did I get all my super chats? Nope, I got another one that just came in, or a couple new ones that just came in. And remember, guys, this is a comedy show. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Don't anyone take me too seriously, even though my whole comedy act is based on telling the truth. And everything that I say is pretty much all dead on accurate, pretty much. First Amendment said, Mary Jane Greenback background, please. Well, I changed it back to blue, and now he's like, no, back to green, bro. Back to green. All right. If you say so. And then I got one from Kelly who says, just like John Cena humiliated during the Oscars. So some people think that that was a bodysuit that he was wearing, that he wasn't really naked. He was wearing a muscular bodysuit. So technically, there's like no chance that he could accidentally have his sack pop out or his wang slip out. Nobody's going to sneak a peek. So if it was indeed like a bodysuit that fits over his, then it eliminates the chance of a wardrobe malfunction. So going back and looking, he may have worn a bodysuit when he did that. Because John Cena used to be huge when he used to take steroids. And then when he got off the roids, he like shrank considerably. And then now that he's older, he kind of has some like old mannish kind of wrinkly muscle skin. And at that award ceremony, his skin was looking smooth and he was looking bigger than usual. So perhaps they let him use some sort of skin suit for that. I can't prove any of that. That's just me throwing some information out there. Make of it what you will. Thank you very much. First Amendment, Kelly Yamaguchi, True Metal Jake for the last several super chats, as well as Suffocation, Vacation, and earlier Dishay64. Thank you guys. Your donations help keep this channel afloat, helps keep me going and paying for all this shit and doing this for you guys. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Let's continue with the show, shall we? All right, so we got Mark Dice hardcore promoting Alex Jones, and we can connect Mark Dice back to Alex Stein. Alex Stein doing humiliation rituals, dressing up like a lady. So now we go to, oh yeah, let's go to Alex Jones' last crash out. His last major crash out. Because I believe it exposes that there is a new guy playing the part. Actually, let's look at old Alex Jones and then look at new Alex Jones. That's what we'll do. We'll go back and look at some classic Alex Jones. All right, so this is Alex Jones, like early 2000s.
The average American's like, NFL games been really great, haven't they? You know, guys at gas station counters will ask you, and you're like, yeah, zombie. I wish you could talk about real issues. And the guy behind you's like, yeah, did you see UFC? And they're all real concerned. It's real important to them as men because that's that tribal war area of their mind that should be reserved for political war and defending their position in life. But instead, it's just kind of like little boys. Yeah, did you see the simulated combat on TV? Yeah, I watched it. A bunch of rich gladiators that could care less about me.
Holy shit, Alex Jones is saying something I would say. Holy fuck. Listen to him tear into the NFL fans. Yeah, this is way more fucking awake and fucking truther-ish sounding to me than the new Alex Jones. So this old Alex Jones, I could see why people like the old AJ character. Like what he was saying right there, he totally was nailing it, right? The NFL fans, the NFL fanboys who memorize all these stats and shit. See, so old Alex Jones used to actually be able to rope people in by saying some shit people can identify with, that a truther, a thinker back then could identify with.
Did you see it? Yeah, I'm empty too. Yeah, I did. I fill my head with facts and figures that don't matter instead of learning the political system and standing up for myself.
See? So the new Alex Jones doesn't look like this version anymore, and it doesn't sound like this version. Now, granted, this was years ago, but this version was Alex Jones up until like a year ago, and then they made the switcheroo. So now we'll look at new out. Oh, and I also want to point out, what color is his eyes? Everybody look at his eyes. What color do you see? I see brown personally. I see brown eyes. New Alex Jones seems to have blue eyes. So there's old AJ. Now we'll look at the recent crash out by the new Alex Jones, who has blue eyes. Actually, it's the crash out in the car video. There's two crash out videos. There's the cry and puke in the car video, and then there's the crash out over Owen Troyer. I got two two different videos here to show you. All right. So I got the cry and puke in the car version, which has light blue eyes. Look at this.
All of it. So now by coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has become part of it.
Become part of it. The Trump administration has become part of it.
Right? Pay attention to his head. His head fucking morphs. People pointed this out to me. Look at the top of his head, especially over here. Watch it morph.
I mean, it's just you cannot see it any other way. So I'm gonna
look at that. Look at this. What? Huh?
I mean, it's just you cannot see it any other way. So I just got
Look at this. This like bumpy, weird head that morphs throughout the whole thing.
the office. I'm gonna go throw up actually, and this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically gonna puke probably right now.
All right, so face doesn't look right. Eyes are a different color. Mannerisms are different. And the voice is off and the cadence is off. Does anyone want to tell me it's because of Ozempic? I'll be glad to tell you to go fuck yourself. Oh, he started taking Ozempic and it changed everything about him, including his personality and his eye color. So I've been pointing out that there's this new replacement Alex Jones. Why the fuck didn't Mark Dice tell us that there's this new Alex Jones? And what happened to his buddy? Nah, he won't tell you that. So that actually lends itself to Mark Dice also being replaced. Like if Mark Dice was River Phoenix and then became Mark Dice, he would know all about celebrities being replaced and different imposter actors playing these roles. So this clearly is not Bill Hicks anymore. Clearly is not the same guy that it was just a year ago even. So just a year ago, we had the classic fat AJ character. And then about, like I said, a year ago, they just pulled the switcheroo to this guy. And people were like, oh, it's because he started working out and he took Ozempic. Not buying that story at all.
My mouth is watering right now. It's because I have integrity.
His mouth is watering because he has integrity. And then the way he uses his face is just different. It's almost like he's wearing a mask that he's not used to wearing, and it's coming loose while he's talking, and he's trying to move his face around to fucking readjust the uncomfortable mask over the top of his face. So it might be a combo of like a hyper realistic mask and AI CGI layering. So I can't tell you exactly what technology, what form they're using. Maybe it's a combo of both. But what I can tell you is that ain't the same fucking Alex Jones character, and it damn sure ain't Bill Hicks. Look at this. I've told people this changes my impression. So now when I do an impression of Alex Jones, you have to tell me whether you want me to do old Alex Jones or new Alex Jones. Because new Alex Jones does shit like this.
It's just you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm gonna go throw up actually, and this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically gonna puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because I have integrity.
I got to tell you something. I only feel like I'm going to puke when something really bad happens. I never get sick. Only when bad stuff happens, I'm going to physically go puke. I'm not going to metaphorically go puke. No, I'm actually going to really freaking physically go puke because I have integrity.
What? See what I'm saying? So I've done this before where I do an impression of this version of Alex Jones. And it's like my impression has changed. That's how I know it's a different guy.
Because, folks, the old Alex Jones, he would never sit there like a frickin' pussy in his car and tell the world he's about to puke and he's about to cry. Real Alex Jones, he did have integrity. He had balls, all right? He would have never sat there and humiliated himself like a fucking castrated pussy little bitch. This new Alex Jones, let me tell you, folks, he is not the real Alex Jones. He is not Bill Hicks. This motherfucker, I need to grind him up and feed him to my goddamn babies.
See, that's old Alex Jones, right? This new Alex Jones who sits in the car and cries, hawks cyber trucks, crashes out over Owen Troyer. Yeah, new Alex Jones has a whole different thing going on, and it's totally different from old Alex Jones. $400 people in the chat. Get the likes up. Hit those likes if you guys are having fun. You're hanging out with the funniest comedian in the world. I also got one from Kelly Yamaguchi that I missed. Thank you, Shady Davey D. Always here supporting the truth. Always here in the live streams. I really appreciate it, buddy. Let me go back and get Kelly's super chat. Ooh, starts to hurt my throat when I do too much Alex Jones. Kelly Yamaguchi said, no NFL, just comedy in the name of education. This is more important, right? We got an AI president. We got a replaced Alex Jones. We got Mark Dice promoting both these clowns. Meanwhile, people want me to guess what's going to happen in a phony football game. Where are people's priorities? Thank you, Kelly Yamaguchi. You're very sweet. Multiple donations tonight. Thank you. So yeah, y'all, if you want me to do an Alex Jones impression, you have to be specific whether you want classic old AJ or whether you want this new imposter Alex Jones.
And, I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country, and they're doing so much good.
He's going to cry if Trump doesn't save the country.
I just need the Trump administration to save this country. About to cry, about to puke, gonna physically puke. I'm gonna sit here in my car and I'm gonna cry. This is what Alex Jones does now.
Jake, it's clearly the same guy as it always was. He looks exactly the same. He sounds exactly the same. He acts just the same as he always did. You're just making shit up for views and clicks, Jake. Right? There's always one of those. He seems the same to me. Everything seems exactly the same, except he got older and took Ozempic. Jake. Right? It's usually somebody who likes to make that claim that I'm just totally wrong and it's totally the same guy and nothing at all has changed.
And then for them to do something like this tears my guts out. And, the left, they're all complicit. They're openly promoting pedophilia. We know they're pure evil. And they'll think it's all funny. Oh, look, Alex is sad. The MAGA's tearing itself apart. Your globalist masters literally want you to eat bugs and live in a 5G, 200 square foot coffin apartment. Look at the left. Look at them all posing with their Pfizer shots, looking like dead zombies. I mean, come on. You guys are sick. And so you shouldn't look at those of us that have a soul still.
Just the way he keeps doing that with his eyes. It's almost like the mask is coming loose.
Guys,
And then he's got to bulge out his eyes.
sick. And so you shouldn't look at those of us that have a
Look at that. Where the fuck did your brown eyes go? Jake, he's wearing contact lenses. He took Ozempic. He got older. He got plastic surgery. And it's clearly the same guy. Right? You got to make some really fucking ridiculous excuses. Oh, yeah. And his fucking head is morphing. Like, look at this. Look at this bump. And then look at this bump. Like, what? Look at this. Look at this. And then, oh, a little divot here. You think that's how somebody's fucking head looks with all these divots and shit? This is a real person now? All right, you guys ready to know? Some of you guys already have an idea who it is. Well, check it out. Bloop, bloop. So there's Bill Hicks up at the top left. And there's young Alex Jones. And then old Alex Jones. Old Alex Jones and young Alex Jones are the same guy. Whether or not they're Bill Hicks, I don't know for sure, but that is a popular theory. New Alex Jones, well, Will Sasso seems to be a strong possibility. Am I sure that Will Sasso is new Alex Jones? I'm not positive, but you can see the resemblance. Will Sasso is a world-renowned impressionist. He's got some serious impression talent, but his Alex Jones impression ain't very good. So I think Will Sasso trying to be Alex Jones is definitely a possibility. But it's clearly somebody new who's playing the part of Alex Jones. To my knowledge, I'm the only one to ever put all their faces on the screen like that. I don't know anybody who's ever put all these guys' faces on screen before. So we can take a look at Will Sasso. He was on the Theo Von podcast. I'll pull that up. We'll take a look at him talking with Theo Von Fawn, which is another comedian who's not funny at all. I've never heard or seen Theo Von Fawn do anything funny. He's literally never made me laugh. Whereas like classic comedians who were also sellouts in part of the industry, they at least had some talent. Like comedians from the 80s and 90s, at least they had some funny stuff that people remember. But Theo Von Fawn, I can't find a single funny thing that he's ever done or said. But somehow he's considered a comedian. Anyway, so here's Will Sasso.
It's the sensibility, like the thing that is trippy, and I like to maintain that I do believe it's at the end of the day, there is a technology there. It is zeros and ones. It is mimicry. It is, in our case, it has the advantage of going after our shit and sort of following what.
I will say this guy has already bulged out his eyes while he's talking a couple times, and he's got light colored eyes. So the fucking eyes, the blue eyes, when Alex Jones switched from brown to blue eyes, well, this dude right here's got blue eyes. They aren't super light in this shot or in this video, but he's definitely got lighter colored eyes that aren't brown. And he's already bulged out his eyes a couple times just sitting here talking.
Everything's online, so you can kind of look at all Chad stuff, look at my stuff, watch me and
see. So he's got that bulge out your eyes thing that we saw new AJ doing. What do you guys think? We might have a possible candidate for somebody who could have possibly played the role of AJ at least once. So maybe they have an AI AJ, and maybe they have Will Sasso and AI do a little combination of AJ, right? So we have to say that this is a possibility. I'm not going to say that there's no way that this guy can be Alex Jones. He totally can be Alex Jones if they give him a mask and some CGI AI layering assistance. I mean, what do you guys think? Roll the losing dice, said I believe it. Roll the losing dice. And I was talking about Mark Dice earlier. Head deformations could be green screen background. Okay, you're talking about the last video of Alex Jones. I'm Theo Von Fawn. I'm going to wear my backwards hat, and I'm just going to be a regular guy who doesn't say anything funny. And I'm going to fit right in with the Joe Rogans of the world. So they got these people like Joe Rogan, Theo Von Fawn, who aren't funny, that don't say or do anything funny ever, but they're considered comedians. And they get to do these talk shows. And people see a big view count, so they just consider it good. That's all you got to do is have a big view count next to some fucking untalented, unfunny hack, and people will watch it. They're like, oh, 3 million views in 24 hours? It must be good. And then they'll sit there and watch an hour-long podcast of some boring fucking shill shit. And they'll be like, well, 3 million people watched it, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the thumbs up button and stroke them off in the comments section. I don't know. I don't get it because I've literally never seen Theo Von Fawn do a single fucking funny thing. I can't think of a single bit or anything that he's famous for, right? Like when Eddie Murphy did comedy back in the day, there were like bits that people would repeat. And there's people out there who could probably remember some of those lines from classic comedy performances from the 80s, early 90s. So I would argue that the old movie stars and industry plant comedians and whatnot, at least they had some sort of talent, something that they did that was funny to some people. Whereas like Theo Von Fawn, like what in the flying fuck has he ever done that really made anyone laugh? Does anybody even know? Because I don't. All right. So Will Sasso, possible candidate for the new Alex Jones. Let's watch a little more new Alex Jones. His recent crash out, most recent crash out about Owen Troyer leaving the show, where he had to cuss a bunch of times and it sounded very forced. He said fuck more times than we've ever heard him say fuck. And it sounded strange, like when Trump said fuck.
Well, guess what? You know what your mother is going to do? Piss on you.
All right.
But it so help me God. And then you want to try to stab your mother in the back because you're a big boy leaving the nest. Well, guess what? You know what your mother is going to do? Piss on you.
Leaving, and he said he felt like Alex was pressuring him too much to not talk about certain things and to be really awkward.
And betray me. And you're allowed to lie about me any way you want.
You know I love you.
No,
Look, let's reject the let's reject the grabbler.
This is a. I'm using this as a case point. You understand that? Mm-hmm. How much have I come in and censored you over the years?
Yeah, not enough, frankly. I'd say some things
we
that I
missed
shouldn't
you.
be saying.
Have I ever censored you?
Never once. Literally never once.
Hey, crack whore. He was a pimp. He's like, Yeah, well, if you're desperate, pay me more, I'll stay for somebody's lie. So wait till you hear his phone call to me yesterday. He literally talked to me like it was a crack whore. He was a pimp. He's like, yeah, well, if you're...
He literally talked to me like I was a crack whore and I was a pimp. And he was like, hey, well, listen to me. I'm Owen Troyer. I'm going to call you crack whore and a pimp deedly-doo. And this is how Alex Jones talks now. And it's doing an impression of Owen Troyer.
Desperate, pay me more, I'll stay. But I'm going to promote my new show on InfoWars, huh?
I'm going to promote my new show. And if you want me to stay, just suck my dick, motherfucker.
Take the high road.
Really nice. I might do a week. I was like, man, this is really hurting my feelings, dude. No, it's all right. You don't have to come in. I hung up, started fucking crying, and then he goes on fucking air and lies about me.
This is not the same dude, clearly. Nothing about that character right there resembles the old character. Right? Like, he looks different. His personality's different. Like, old Alex Jones never did any shit like that. It's only this new imposter Alex Jones that is doing this new cringe fucking castrated version of Trump or of Alex Jones. My bad.
Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit.
See, he's forcing the F word in there to try and sound all angry. This is what you would do if you're an actor trying to be Alex Jones and you've been told by other people that you need to say fuck. And you're trying to force fuck into it. It sounds like somebody like Will Sasso has been instructed to say fuck as many times as possible.
He literally talked to me like it was a crack whore. He was a pimp. He's like, yeah, well, if you're desperate, pay me more, I'll stay. But I'm going to promote my new show on InfoWars, huh?
Let's take the high road.
Really nice. I might do a week. I was like, man, this is really hurting my feelings, dude. No, it's all right. You don't have to come in. I hung up, started fucking crying, and then he goes on fucking air and lies about me. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. I won't fucking take people stabbing me in the back anymore. Fuck you.
You know what? Fuck you. Fuck that motherfucker. Fuck his mom. Fuck his dad. Fuck his sister. Fuck his grandma. Fuck his aunt. Fuck his dog. That motherfucking titty-sucking two-bomb bitch. He's so goddamn motherfucking full of fucking shit. I want to fuck him inside, fuck him outside, fuck him up, fuck him down, and fuck him all around. Mother figgity fuck, fuck, tit, fuck, shit, fuck, dick, tit, fuck. Ah.
Yeah, that's how Alex Jones is now. Jake, that's how Alex has always been.
Get ready.
Yeah, and then he went on his own show and kept going off on him. I think the live stream Owen did is what really got to him because it got a lot of attention. A lot of people took Owen's side, and he talked about how just funny. Owen leaves and is like, yeah, my boss was a bigger scum than this to
By claiming I'm a traitor when they're scumbag Benedict Arnolds. Pieces of shit. Want to be elitist. Arrogant scumbags. I'm not arrogant. I'm on a power trip. I'm in a total commitment against evil.
The way that the mouth is moving and the words have like a thing, it's almost like he's got false teeth in his mouth. Like he's got, I don't know, like a teeth overlay. Look at this. Look at like how thick the eyelids are. Almost looks like Will Sasso in a fucking mask with some fucking false teeth.
This is shit. Want to be elitist. Arrogant scumbags.
Arrogant scumbags. Elitist.
I'm not arrogant. I'm on a power trip. I'm in a total commitment against evil. I'm pouring out my guts, my soul, my family, everything I've got committed to this, and I will not have pieces of fucking shit lie about me and say I'm not true. I will fucking destroy you, scum. All of you. Fuck you.
Come on, y'all. Somebody got in his ear and was like, we're going to need you to say fuck like minimum 30 times. Probably should overdo it and say it like 50 times so that people don't notice that you're fucking Will Sasso in a mask. Yeah, your impression isn't that good, so we're going to need you to say fuck as many times as possible so that people don't focus on the fact that you have light blue eyes now. Right, come on, y'all. How come Mark Dice ain't calling this out, right? That's who Mark Dice is promoting, right? I'll bet you Mark Dice would be like, wow, I love his passion. He's so compelling, so charismatic. That's a man with true passion right there. I'm going to send the Dice Army over there. Promote my boy right after I get down and suck him off.
I've sworn on the altar of God, total resistance against every form of tyranny, against the mind of men.
Sworn on the death of Jesus that you burn fucking pieces of shit. I swear in the name of the Lord Jesus in fucking heaven, I'm gonna make you goddamn because I'm so fucking angry. Fuck you. Fuck everyone.
Could have hired me. Shit, they should have just hired me, right? One of you guys would have noticed. You'd be calling me out for being Alex Jones. All right.
And I told everyone 2 weeks ago, I'm leveling up. And it's scary. Because I'm a scary person. I can outthink and outmaneuver all these people. And I just keep trying to get the general society to wake up and win. But I guess it does lie to me. I guess I am the smartest. I am.
Yeah, look at this. His teeth look weird. His goatee looks strange. Mannerisms off. Wrong eye color. So much wrong here.
I am the best. I am the fastest.
I am the best. I am the fastest.
The fastest? What the hell are you talking about? I'll bet you I could beat you in a sprint. 100-meter dash, I would leave this man in the dust. Who the fuck's he kidding? The fastest?
Get the general society to wake up and win. But I guess it does lie to me. I guess I am the smartest. I am the best. I am the fastest.
Look at his head bulge out right here. It's doing the head bulge dealy again. Watch the head bulgy.
I guess I am the smartest. I am the best. I am the fastest.
Whoa! Wow, that'd be crazy to like have your head bulge out while you speak.
The problem is interlocking into this information is very frightening.
Oh yeah, I remember this part of the crash out.
So he goes from being all angry to kind of being sad, and then he looks up and he does this.
He does this weird thing where he goes, watch. Watch his total fucking personality change and morph right here to like eyes in the back of head, fucking gonna pass out. Alex.
What?
So it must be done. The problem is interlocking
into this information.
Interlocking into this information. Frightening. So it must be done. So I will do it. I'll never watch another movie. I guess I have to become celibate because I can't get my energy up to sex.
I'll never watch another movie.
Huh? What's that gonna help?
I guess I gotta be celibate
Yeah, I don't believe that at all, sir. I mean, you saying you're never going to watch another movie. I gave up watching Hollywood movies years ago because they suck, right? So I don't really watch movies. But you're going to be celibate? Yeah, I don't buy that at all.
That's the biggest strain on me because I'm a man. There is no more pleasure. There is no more pain. There is no more art. There is no more culture. There is only war. And I commit myself to total war against Satan. And I ask God to lead God and direct me and commit me to his arms and to become a complete vessel of warfare against.
So now he's acting like he's under some trance, right? So in a span of like, I don't know, 2 minutes, he was like turning red and
then he started to get kind of sad. And then he did this thing where he did,
right? He like looked up and did that weird thing. And now
he's like, he's in a trance and he is going to worship Trump. Please, Trump, lead us to victory. I am now a zombie. I'm under the trance right now.
Right? All in the matter of like 2 minutes.
This operation, and I repent for all my sins, and I ask now before everyone that you lift me up to be an absolute battering ram against the enemy in God's will. In the name of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, amen.
Oh, now he just pretends like he's just came. He just splooged after all that.
Dear Lord in heaven, Jesus, I pray to you, please let me suck Trump's ball sweat off of his testicles. Lord, help me, amen.
Okay.
So everybody be on notice.
Yeah, so that was something else. And while Alex was losing his mind and
Kelly Yamaguchi says, never pause Alex Jones video. Bizarre faces, Jake. Well, I pause it specifically to show you the bizarre faces. Like, look at the way that the eyelids just look thick and mask-like. The bulging eyes. So again, we got to ask ourselves, what are the chances? Huh? What are the chances that we're dealing with Will Sasso playing the role now? I'd say that it's definitely a possibility that's on the table. But this definitely ain't Bill Hicks.
Operation, and I repent for all my sins, and I ask now before everyone that you lift me up to be an absolute battering ram against the enemy in God's will. In the name of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, amen. So everybody be on notice.
yeah, so that was something else. And while Alex was losing his mind and going off on Owen.
All right. So one thing is for sure, Alex Jones is not calling out Trump for being AI. Mark Dice isn't calling out AI Trump. So very few people talking about the fact that the government has used, provably, an AI Trump. And I'm not the only one who's noticed it. There's other channels that have pointed it out. But these other channels don't talk about the fact that we have a runaway government parading an AI Trump in front of us and passing it off like it's the real thing. And that's what people should be talking about. I think people should be outraged that the tyrannical runaway government is putting an AI Trump on TV screens, on our computer screens, but not letting us know. So let me go show the last AI Trump video. Well, one of the AI Trump videos that's clearly AI.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot.
So this is how quick it happens. Watch his hand right here. I'm going to back it up. I'm going to slow it down. We'll go to 25. Watch his pinky here, and I'll even freeze frame it when it happens. His pinky turns into his ring finger. His ring finger turns into his pinky, and it happens in a split second. Right there. And that's the only movement that he makes with his hands in the entire speech. So normally he talks with his hands. People fidget when they're giving a speech. People move ever so slightly. His hands stay still and they only make this one move. Watch the pinky. Watch the pinky. Right. Shit, I guess I missed it that time. All right, let me do it in regular speed again.
The country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot.
There it was. Okay. 19 seconds. Okay.
Charlie was a patriot.
All right. Now I'm going to slow it down as slow as it can go again. Now that I got the timestamp all set up. There it was. So you see his pinky turns into his ring finger. Right here. I can even try and freeze it as it's happening. There it was. All right. So there were other channels that caught on to this and pointed it out. I'm not the only one that pointed this out, but nobody's talking about how the tyrannical runaway government is putting a AI Trump on screen. Instead, they're saying, oh, Trump and his associates just posted an AI version of him. So it's being passed off like this was just some one-time thing. Trump was too lazy to give a speech for his buddy Charlie, so he just had him post an AI version. That's basically what people are acting like. Like this is only one time. So people either A, didn't notice, haven't heard about AI Trump, so they're not thinking about it at all. Or if they did notice, they think it was just this one time. They aren't putting two and two together that the government is putting a fucking AI Trump on screen and convincing tens of millions of people that this is the president talking. So if they're showing us an AI president, people should be making the conclusion, should be making the leap. Hey, wait a minute. How do we know Trump is even president? How do we know this is even the real Trump if they're using an AI version? How can we trust anything that this guy says if they're putting an AI version? If the government's convincing the public that this AI version of Trump is the actual Trump, well, What else have they been lying about? I mean, the wheels should be turning in people's heads when they figure out that there's a fucking AI Trump, but it's just not happening. This is what lets me know that humanity is doomed. We are so screwed. People should be freaking out that there's an AI Trump here, especially the people that voted for him. If they figure out that they voted for an AI Trump, they should be like, oh shit, is there even really a president? Does Trump make any decisions? Does he actually have any power? Is there even a guy named Trump that stays at the White House? These are valid questions when they're putting a AI Trump on screen. Seems like I'm the only one asking those valid questions. Nobody seems to give a fuck. So I can show you like another channel with a bigger audience than mine pointed the same clip out. But it's not like it caused this massive outrage. The video didn't go viral. So the Jimmy Dore show pointed out this exact same clip. See? And they've got 1.63 million subscribers. So way more subscribers than me, right? Huge audience compared to mine. They've got the check mark. White House releases AI generated video of Trump eulogizing Charlie Kirk. So they're going to go over the same clip, but they're not going to make the conclusion that a tyrannical runaway government is in charge. They're just going to make the conclusion that the White House released an AI generated video. Like it was just a one-off event. Shit, still have it in slow-mo.
Disappears and then reappears magically.
Yeah, if you run it again, it's very hard to tell. I'm looking at, yeah.
Tell me.
So something wrong with his hands?
Yeah, watch the pinky on the top hand.
Oh, look.
Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm your guest host, Misty Winston, here with Kurt, everybody's favorite comedian. So this is fun. I don't know if you've seen this, Kurt. This is fun a little bit. So President Trump obviously put out a video about Charlie Kirk, and it is very clearly AI, my friends.
Very clearly AI. So you should be like, oh, so how can we trust that Kirk incident? How can we trust what happened at the Kirk incident if they're putting out a fucking AI Trump? Oh, no, nobody makes that connection. That whole Kirk thing. Yeah, if we got an AI Trump on screen, how the fuck can you trust anything you saw on screen related to that incident? Yeah, I know there was a live crowd there, but you only see what happened on a screen. So if they're using an AI Trump, how can you trust anything that you see coming from the mainstream media, including that Kirk shit? But no, they don't make that connection.
There is no question about it. This is an AI video. So I'm going to play the whole video for you, and then I'm going to play a very small clip in slow motion, and then we can talk about the specifics of it. But this is a statement that is AI generated. Then this morning, he's at the 9/11 memorial, and his face looks like this. The man has clearly had a stroke. So I'm going to play you because everybody was.
So they're pushing that he had a stroke.
Again, and then Trump releases a statement that is AI generated. Then this morning, he's at the 9/11 memorial, and his face looks like this. The man has clearly had a stroke. So I'm going to play you because everybody was saying, oh, he's just making a face or whatever. So I'm going to play you some video so you can see that this is not just like a moment in time. This was him throughout the course of this event.
Hilda E. Taylor. Lieutenant Colonel Kip P. Taylor, United States Army.
Clearly, AI Trump again.
I mean, that facial drooping is textbook.
Leonard E.
So she's blaming facial drooping on a stroke when clearly this is just another fucking AI Trump. See? So that's how shills do damage control. So this is what makes me at the forefront of these topics, is I can show you what damage control the shills are doing and what they're fucking spinning. So they got over 1 million subs, and what are they telling people? Oh, Trump and his team put out an AI video because he had a stroke. So he must not have been healthy enough to give that speech. Clearly, textbook, right? And then the video only got like 100,000 and some odd views, so it didn't go viral. So that's how you keep people from freaking out about an AI Trump. If anybody does come across it and go, hey, wait a minute, that's an AI Trump, you can't let them fucking put 2 and 2 together that there ain't no fucking president in charge named Trump making any fucking decisions. There's no guy who has any power or control that's named Trump. We got a runaway tyrannical government in charge, and they have a character named Trump. And they put imposters on screen and fucking AI on screen. And they convince tens of millions of people in America that, yeah, that's the guy making decisions. Yeah, my vote counts, and that's who I voted for, right? People should be freaking the fuck out. But nope, nobody cares. Nobody notices. They either don't notice or they just don't fucking care. So back to Mark Dice, Alex Jones. You don't see them talking about AI Trump. Yeah, Dice and his Dice army. Yeah, I guess they don't give a shit that Trump is AI now. I guess they don't care that Alex Jones has blue eyes and a different personality now. Holy shit. All right. So I got through the information I wanted to get through as far as those subjects go. So we can open up some questions, open topic or whatever. If you guys want to talk about anything you saw here, ask me some questions about what we just covered. That's cool. Or if you guys have questions about some other shit, you can ask me that. No, I'm not doing picks. Good luck. Jake, do you like Metallica?
Yeah, yeah. No. Whoa. Yeah, yeah. No. Whoa. Yeah, yeah. No, no.
That's my answer.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. And never mind that, no, you heard. It's just a piece under your bed, in your closet, in your head.
All right. There's an overplayed song. So I used to like Metallica more when I was younger, but then their songs got overplayed on the radio, especially the Black Album stuff, especially Enter Sandman. So then I kind of got like, I don't know, irritated by the fact that they were overplayed. So I don't hate them, but I don't like to really recreationally listen to much of their stuff anymore. If I am going to watch Metallica stuff, I'll watch like a classic show from like the 80s, like before they blew up big, before the Black Album. So if I am going to watch some Metallica performances, I prefer the old classic Metallica stuff over any of the newer stuff. But they're not one of my favorites, but I don't hate them. Roll the Losing Dice says Megadeth is better. Except their crowds are way smaller. They have way less hit songs. And some would argue that Dave's voice is not very good anymore and never was.
Hello, me. Meet the real me. I'm gonna write a song about me. Yeah, because this is what me does, me. I'm me. That's why I say hello to me. Meet the real me. I'm not you. I'm me.
My throat is going to be fucked up tomorrow. Metallica, Dave Mustaine, and Alex Jones, new and old. It's getting a little scratchy.
Hey, kids, doopity-doo! Look at me, I'm Les Claypool. Chuckled flag on there, they come and laugh. It couldn't find me. Prettiest man alive. Fucking his gas on some time, age 65. Man.
There you go. Little Claypool for you. Colden says, cool light on your hat stick, Jake. Thanks. I got it from Amazon. It was only $26. I wanted something in like some sort of LED thing in the background that I could play with and change colors and whatnot. And so I was looking into these corner lamps, these light bars, and I found some cheap ones. And there was really good reviews on this cheap light bar from Amazon. And so I was like, okay, it's going to be like some plastic junk, but the reviews are good. So I'll give it a go. I'll buy one and see how it is. So I got it, and it's actually pretty good for the price, for only like $26. It's got all these different modes. Right? I like the voice activated one. I can feel it calling in the air tonight. Hold on. And I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Hold on. Hold on. As I can feel it calling in the air tonight. Hold on. Bow, 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 bow. There you go. This guy is on heavy Adderall. No, I actually don't take any prescription drugs. I don't have any medical insurance, and I don't go to the doctor, and I don't go buy pills from dudes. So you're wrong. All of this energy comes from within me. Yeah, believe it or not. But thank you for assuming that I'm on some pharmaceutical drugs. You must be on those drugs, and you're projecting onto me, right? So this guy right here, Short Dog Kennel, snorts Adderall pills like a fucking drug addict. Yeah, you snort little kid meth, right? And you're projecting your fucking drug usage onto me. Nothing about what I've done here tonight would suggest that I'm on Adderall. In fact, what I've done here tonight, some might consider to be a brilliant performance of comedy and truth. So keep your assumptions about pharmaceutical drugs to yourself, fucking bitch. Trout Fishing at Hood Park says, good info, Jake. You're the only one doing it that I can see. Appreciate the work. Thank you, my brother from another mother. Very generous donation from Trout Fishing at Hood Park. He donates quite often. Very generous supporter of this program. You guys got to remember, I'm doing all of this off the top of my head. There is no script. I come in with some video clips to show, and then I start showing them, and then the comedy just magically happens between what you guys suggest that I do and me coming up with this off my own head, off the cuff, off the cusp, off the cusp. Shit just magically happens. And sometimes I am lucky that I produce comedy gold from just talking about what's going on the world stage, taking suggestions from you guys. So thank you for being here and supporting real comedy from a real comedian. Trout Fishing at Hood Park, bro. Fist bumpage. Baboshka. Speaking of, I had a super chat come in last week that I missed. I don't think he's here tonight, but maybe he'll see the replay. Replacement Skylights has sent multiple super chats, and I missed one from last week. Let me go back and pull it up real quick. It's really easy to go back and find super chats after the show and see that I accidentally missed one. All right. So I missed this super chat from Replacement Skylights. He said, is Paul McCartney the first celebrity to get replaced? I've never heard your take on him. So this is a good question about celebrity replacements. And I wasn't alive when Paul McCartney supposedly died in a car wreck. As the story goes, Paul McCartney died in a car wreck, and they had some guy that looked like him and sang like him, and he played guitar right-handed. So all he had to do was just learn how to play, or he played bass guitar right-handed. Then he just had to learn how to play left-handed. So there is this popular theory that they replaced Paul McCartney with a look-alike. And a lot of people noticed, but a lot of people didn't. That was before I was born. So I actually didn't even look into that conspiracy until after I figured out Dave Chappelle was replaced. So what really opened my mind up to celebrity replacements was when I found out Dave Chappelle was replaced. And I was like, holy shit, how can they get away with putting this fake imposter Chappelle out there on screen, who's not even funny and doesn't even really look that much like Dave or sound that much like Dave, and people don't notice. So it blew my mind that they were able to replace like one of the top comedians at the time, and people didn't call it out. You know, some people noticed, but obviously not enough to stop them from doing it. So that was my first celebrity to get my mind to open to that new possibility of like celebrity replacements. And so once I figured out Chappelle was replaced, then I went down the rabbit hole later on about Paul McCartney being replaced. But I was never like a big Beatles fanboy, and that happened before I was born. So I never really got into that conspiracy as much as Dave Chappelle being replaced, because Dave Chappelle was like a popular comedian while I was growing up, and I watched the Dave Chappelle show and I was a fan of his show. So then when they made the swaparoo, I was like, well, who the fuck is this guy? That's not Dave. So, and then I started noticing other celebrities after that have been replaced. You know, Eminem, most notably, Joe Biden, right? So I've been calling out presidents being replaced since Joe Biden took office. And I've been calling out the president as being AI or being played by an imposter since Joe Biden took over. So, yeah, this whole like celebrity replacement thing, they might have been doing it long before I was ever even born. Like, you know, back in like when they were making black and white movies, they might have had celebrity replacements back then. I just wasn't around. So who knows how long the celebrity replacement thing has been going on. I would guess that there's some old black and white movies where they could have did the same thing. It's just none of us were alive to have seen it. So replacement skylights, I'm sorry for missing your super chat. Hopefully you see this replay. I haven't seen you here in chat tonight, but I'm hoping that you see the replay and you're satisfied with that answer. All right. So there you guys go. If I miss a super chat, I'll go as far as to make it up in the next stream. So anyone, if you send me a super chat and I somehow miss it, just know I go back and watch the replay. I feel bad when I miss super chats. That's why I took the time in tonight's stream to make it up to a guy who might not even be here to see it. All right. I've heard this one, that Jimmy Carter is JFK. I've heard that. There's some similarities in the face for sure. I lean more towards JFK, like the whole thing being staged rather than his head actually being blown apart. So there's all sorts of like conspiracy bait when it comes to JFK. You know, oh, it was his wife, or it was the driver. There were multiple men on the roof, and so there's all these other replacement theories to keep you in the mindset that his head got blown apart. But if you take one step further and you think, okay, was the whole thing some sort of production, right? That's where my mind tends to go there, like the whole thing being a production. And you'll notice that the Kirk thing, the Kirk Dealey event, we'll call it, there's a lot of conspiracy bait involved with that, right? So they want you to believe he's for sure dead. And they've got all these extra theories there to rope you in if you don't trust the mainstream media. The theory they don't want you talking about is that the whole thing is scripted theater. Now, I will say that with this Kirk incident, they did make it very obvious. They purposely added anomalies and things for the people who are awake to the world stage for us to find. But the sheep still believe it, hook, line, and sinker. So if you guys did any research into the Kirk thing, I'm sure you found plenty of anomalies, right? That will lead you to the truth of what really didn't happen. But it's like they did it on purpose. So I think that they added these mistakes and anomalies into the Kirk incident specifically to test us and see who's paying attention and who's not, who's going to say something and who's going to go along with it. And they also added a bunch of conspiracy bait as well, so that there's plenty of rabbit holes. Yeah, and then the Snake Eyes stuff. Once you look into the movie Snake Eyes and the connection of Snake Eyes character having the exact same name getting shot in the same spot. Oh, well, it's just a crazy coinky dink. So yeah, anybody who hasn't looked into the Snake Eyes connection yet, that's just more confirmation that we're looking at theater rather than an actual historical event. So basically you have men who sit around with notepads, right? Who come up with this stuff ahead of time. 10 years ahead of time, 20 years ahead of time, 30 years ahead of time. Fuck. Who knows how long ahead of time they come up with this stuff. And then they have all the pieces and actors in place to make it happen. And as long as most people think it's real, well, then it's history. And they go on reporting it every, day after day as if this event happened in history. So this just goes to show you history is scripted by men sitting around in a room who have to come up with this shit. But if I tell people that men sit around and script the day's events years ahead of time, it sounds crazy to a sheeple, to a normie. But once you go down these rabbit holes and you see where they lead, there has to be somebody sitting around coming up with this, or they got AI and computers helping them out. But there always has to be somebody putting these ideas into motion and getting all the actors on board to play their parts and stuff. So it takes a whole lot of coordination to get everybody on board to do and say these things on camera at the right time. And see, they can get you to blame a whole race of people. The tiny hats. All of them? So even the random dude down the street who owns, a business who's a J but is not connected to politics or world government, him too? Every single J is involved, or just certain ones? How do you know at the tippity top of the tippity top there's not something above these group of people that's not even human? What if it's some sort of fucking alien fucking being or whatever that's at the tippity top? What if it's Satan himself at the tippity top? What if it's a computer at the tippity top, right? So I'm not convinced that you can just point your finger at the J's and be like, oh, it's them. I think that's what they want you to do. And if you do it too much, then they can come along and censor you and kick you off of platforms and stuff because you went and you pointed your finger at this group of people. And that'll make you think that you're on the right track, when really they can totally conceal the identity of what's really at the tippity top by getting you to go after the Jays or the Jesuits or whoever, right? So I believe they have dangled these figureheads in front of us to get us to blame certain people who aren't even at the tippity top or anywhere near the tippity top. Bill Gates, for instance, they can get us to blame guys like Bill Gates when really he's just another puppet actor who they can dangle in front of us. So who's pulling the puppet strings of Bill Gates? The Jays, the people with the hats. Yeah, but who exactly? So I think there could be some other thing at the tippity top that might not even be human. In fact, with all the advances in technology, do we really believe that humans are coming up with all this shit and building all this technology? All these advanced gizmos and stuff and this form of AI that they're letting us simpletons play around with. They've had that AI for a long time. They got way better versions of AI. So if they're letting us play around with AI, think about the shit that they got. If they're putting mistakes in the AI Trump videos on purpose for guys like me to find, they got a much better version that is going to be flawless. So it's almost like they want us to know in some cases, or maybe they're forced to reveal their plan on purpose as like some sort of karmatic release. Like, oh, we're going to make it obvious that this Kirk thing didn't go down the way that they say. We're going to make it obvious that Trump is not really in charge. And if people don't see what we're showing them point blank in clear view, well, then they deserve to be fucking duped. Zachary Wild said Kirk show aired 6 days before the hoax. So all this extra information has come out, which solidifies the fact that the whole thing was theater. So it's like, how much detail do you really need? It's like if you saw it and you realized it was some staged theater back when it happened. Well, now all the extra information that comes out should just further solidify that fact, right? So anybody at this point who's still believing the mainstream narrative, holy shit. Yeah, they will never wake up to what's really going on. Furthermore, some people who were followers of this channel even were pushing the narrative that guy is for sure dead. And you know what? There's a few people I had to get rid of for that. Thank you very much for the super chats, you guys. Oh, and I missed a couple super chats that are asking me to do some impressions. We got some comedic requests. I think Kelly Yamaguchi wants me to do the Indian 49er fans. Indian 49er fan impression. Kelly says, can you do Indian 49er fan impression? Yeah, I think you asked for that like a couple streams back and I didn't do it. So I think now would be a good time. This weekend, tomorrow, me and Shabir, we are going to watch the 49er kick the fucking shit out of the Jaguar. And let me tell you, my friend, me and Shabir, we are going to get there early and we are going to have a tailgate party and we are going to get all kinds of fucked up, my friend. We are going to go in there 3 sheets to the wind. We are going to be tore up from the floor up, if you know what I am saying. When we get inside there, we are going to be cheering as loud as we possibly can for the 49er because the 49er is the best football team in all of the world, my friend. I love the 49er more than I love life itself. Me and Shabir will be rooting for the 49er to beat the fucking Jaguar. I don't want to see a single fucking Jaguar fan there. I will spit in the face of the Jaguar fan if I see them. I will be like, pooh, pooh. Fuck you, motherfucker, cheering for a Jaguar, son of bitch. Your mom is fucking fat and slut, bitch. That's what I will say if they are making noise and cheering for the Jaguar. I hope the 49er win by 1 million points, my friend. There you go. There's the Indian 49er fan. Shady Davy D says, impression of Queen Queefy and Q and Fee hate watching. Okay, so when he says Queen Queefy, he's talking about Sanity Machine Steven, who is an online cyberbully. So if anybody's wondering who that is, there's a cyberbully who hate watches me and talks shit. And then, of course, old Q, who stabbed me in the back. All right, let me see what I can do. Look at him. Just look at him. He's a loser. Jake is a loser. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. You can see he's a demon. Look at him. He's a demon. Yeah, he looks like a piece of shit. I knew he was a piece of shit when they started to charge for membership, piece of shit. That is why I had to project my gay insecurities onto Jake, because I am obsessed with gay sex, piece of shit. I am obsessed with having sex with dogs and animals. So that is why I had to project my disgusting shit onto Jake because it turns out I am the biggest piece of shit in the world, piece of shit. Jake's a loser and a piece of shit. There you go. Queen Stephanie and Q and Queef. Hopefully that satisfied your funny bone. Your funny boner. Maria. All right. We sound good. So, I got to tell you, I'm just going to be honest. I got fungus on my lip. Sure, I got demonetized on YouTube, but I'm not going to complain. I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep reacting to TikToks. Sure, I live in my mom's house. I make good money. Sure, or I did make good money. I used to bartend. I was making $60,000 a year. I was like Hood Rich Ricky. Wow, wow, wow. Sure, take a hit, metaphorically speaking. Sure, I know. I was like, whoa, crazy. Take a hit. Wow, wow. There you go. Little Jack Morgan for that ass. Yeah, according to Queen Stephanie, Sanity Machine, everyone is a demon except for him. And he's going to seal all of us demons inside this hell realm. And we're not going to be able to escape. That's what he tells his audience, that everyone is a demon except for him. He's the only smart, true, genuine human in the world. And everyone else is a demon. So he'll put me on screen and be like, look at his eyes. You can tell he's a demon. Look at him. Just look at him. Then he goes and shoves his head up Jack Talcott's ass for like 9 hours straight. Imagine a guy doing a stream for 12 hours a day for like 5 people, calling other people losers and demons for 12 hours. He's got nothing better to do for 12 fucking hours besides just pull people up on screen like me and call me a demon and everyone else online a demon, and then refer to himself as the only non-demon. And there's, 4 or 5 people who enjoy watching that sort of fucking content. Angels and demons. She's a demon. Look at her eyes. That's how you know she's a demon. Look at her. Just look at her. Sorry. She says, sorry so late. How about Roseanne talking about repentance?
So this girl, she's sending me a super chat. She wants me to talk about fucking repentance. And I don't know what she really wants me to say, because that's not something I would ever do. If you know who I am and who I work for, I'm not going to fucking repent for anything. I'm here to tell you that I'm going to try and destroy all the commies that are trying to fucking ruin MAGA. I'm going to sing the national anthem because I don't give a fuck about repentance. I say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last fucking gleaming? I don't even fucking know why the twilight was gleaming. Probably because of the fucking commies and the Anunnaki.
Whew. So I believe that my Roseanne impression is so good that I could I could probably intercept Roseanne's audience, right? I could probably get them to become bigger fans of mine than hers. She probably feels threatened by my existence. I'd like to see Roseanne's reaction to watching my impression of Roseanne. Wouldn't that be hilarious? To see like Roseanne's face while watching me do a spot-on impression of her.
He thinks he's so fucking funny, but I totally don't sound like that. This fucking guy thinks he sounds like me. I don't sound anything like that.
That's probably what she'd say, right? I doubt that she'd be like, holy shit, he sounds more like me than I do. I'm going to have him come on my fucking show. So part of the reason I wanted to change the name from Jake the Asshole to Jake the Awake is so that you guys can share my work with your family members. So if you want to try and share one of my funny impressions, you know, with somebody, even if they're not into conspiracies, you can be like, hey, check out my this channel that I watch. This comedian named Jake the Awake, he does the funniest Roseanne impression. So you could actually red pill your normie friends by suggesting me as a comedian. And then they'll end up listening to more, and then they'll hear about the truth about, you know, Trump being AI and Alex Jones being replaced and these people being puppets on the world stage, yada, yada. So that's a good way to red pill your friends, right? Black pill your friends. Just fucking give your truth pills to your friends, right? Suggesting my comedy. And then they'll end up watching more, possibly. So part of the reason why I changed the name was to make my work more shareable, right? So now you can be like, hey, grandma, check out this funny guy who does this funny impression, right? Whereas if you're like, hey, grandma, check out this guy named Jake the Asshole, she'll be like, I don't want to see someone's asshole. No. All right. Kelly says, what makes her a queen? Queen of what? So there is a cyber bully, goes by the name Insanity Machine, or excuse me, the Sanity Machine. And he also has another channel, and he does like 12-hour streams just calling people demons. And so he refers to himself as King Stephen. So that's why I refer to him as Queen Stephanie. In fact, I'll go ahead and show a video and expose him real quick because he really doesn't like it when I show Demon Slayer videos, which is exactly why I like to show Demon Slayer videos. Because I know that Queen Stephanie doesn't like it. All right.
Ching chong, ching chong, ching chong. Hai ya yo ya. This is me, kind of gross and vulgar and crass and degenerate. This is me this summer. This is me within the last couple of months. This is what I look like compared to what demons look like. That is how I look.
Look at him. Look at his eyes. He's a diamond. He's a diamond. Look at him. Just look at him.
Look at his eyes. That's how you know he's a demon. Demon. Look at him.
And that's before I got a haircut. So my hair was growing very long. And my girlfriend liked it like that. She for some reason, I don't know why.
You ready? Lights, camera, rolling, rolling. You birds. You birds.
I think it might have been in June or July. I took another selfie somewhere, hiking somewhere else. So that's me.
Look at the dark, demonic eye circles. Look at these dark eyes, dark eye bags. Very unhealthy.
He's a demon. Look at him. Just look at him.
And that's the color of my eyes. And that's what I look like. That's what my eyes look like. That's what my lips look like. That's what my face looks like. But anyway, I wanted to show you that for the energy. Now take a look at his energy. I'll put up Dick on the screen so that you can see his face.
I mean, if you guys were to run into this guy out on the street, what would you think? Would you think, man, that is a swell looking fella?
Or would you think he's a creepy boy? Creepy boy. Damon. Creepy boy.
A little bit better. This is him. This is Dick. Look at his eyes. Look at the eyes on that creature. And look at the look. Like you would think that he's angry or ready to eat someone's face off. That's a demon. He looks like a demon, and the energy's a demon. Look at the mouth. Look at just the energy, not just the looks, but the energy of that thing. And you can almost see an aura around him.
I love watching Queen Stephanie get exposed. I'm rigged to ask, whatever happened to the Tasmanian Artard? Oh, the moldy rolla. Oh God, what's his name? Who's the guy that thinks I'm a shape-shifting arc? Aaron Haywood. I think he might still be around. I can check and see if he's put out anything lately. I haven't looked at his channel in several months, so we can look right now and see if he's put out anything new. Oh my God. One of he's got several channels. I don't know if any of them have any new videos, but he has a profile picture of me and Will Duffy. He thinks I'm Will Duffy.
I've got another role here that Jake the Arsehole is playing. Jason Gould. From this channel here. All right, it's undeniable.
It's undeniable, you guys. I'm a multi-roller, as he likes to claim. A multi-roller. It's undeniable. Jake's playing the part of Jason Gould. He's a bloody shape-shifting icon.
So I had this loser here, Fearless TV.
You're a retard for saying Jake the Asshole is multiple different people. You say it's impossible for an actor to put on a fursuit or pretend to be a gorilla, but you think celebrities are shapeshifters. Damn, you're stupid. And then he gets all triggered by these comments.
Come onto my channel and have a meltdown. Where he states you're a retard for saying Jake the Arsehole is multiple different people. Is that right? Fearless.
That's me. I'm clearly that guy.
Let's zoom in.
Yeah, that's that. I'm definitely that guy. And I'm definitely that guy. Those are definitely the same people for sure.
All right, I'm getting under this
He got me. What can I say? I'm Jason Gould.
skin. So if you go over to Jake's channel and have a look in the comment sections, you'll be able to see who the shills are.
That's right. But wait, I'm also other dudes, not just him. Well, that's too far. Oh yeah, I'm also a bare knuckle boxer.
Okay, so I'm going to make this video short and straight to the point. So over the past week, Jake the arsehole has been getting his ass handed to him up here on YouTube. Right, he walked into the wrong saloon.
I've been getting my ass handed to me. I walked into the wrong saloon. This guy knows that I'm Jason Gould. I'm Nick Johnson. I'm Pastor Will Duffy. And I'm this other guy, Jason Sandberg or something. And I'm a bare knuckle boxer.
He's been taking nothing but L's ever since. Right, so recently, he was exposed as Pastor Will Duffy.
Yep, I'm Will Duffy, you guys. I'm Pastor Will Duffy. So, you know how I'm the funniest guy in the entire fucking world? Literally the funniest person alive right now. Yeah, when I'm Will Duffy, I just slightly change facial features ever so slightly because I do kind of look like Will Duffy already. So all I do is just become not funny. So when I'm Will Duffy, I have to suppress all my comedic talent because, as we all know, Will Duffy has never done or said anything even remotely funny. Whereas I am the funniest person who ever lived. So when I'm Will Duffy, I have to literally stop myself from doing anything funny. I have to suppress all of my comedic talent. That's the only way I can be Will Duffy. Right? You've never seen Will Duffy do an impression of anyone. Will Duffy's never made you laugh. Whereas I am a world-renowned impressionist, and I make everyone laugh. So clearly, when I am Will Duffy, I have to make sure to be as unfunny as possible. Of course, makes perfect sense, right?
And also, as the YouTuber Aphrodite, bottom right there in the pink.
I'm Aphrodite as well.
Right now, he's come out and made a rebuttal video to the accusations.
I didn't make a rebuttal video. I did a live stream like I'm doing now, and we all pointed and fucking laughed at this guy. I guess that's what he calls a rebuttal video, is me doing this, pointing at how fucking ridiculous he is. And no, it's not just a character. He actually believes this. He really does believe this. I swear he does. He's not kidding. He doesn't get enough views or he doesn't make any money. He's not monetized. So the only person who would spend their time on this and actually sound serious is some fucking crazy dude who actually believes it. I'm Riggs says, so Archons don't sleep. Checks out. Yeah, I've come up with some questions like, how am I supposed to be all these dudes? Like, how there wouldn't be enough time in the day for me to be Nick Johnson, a bare knuckle boxer, Pastor Will Duffy, Jason Gould, this other dude on the left, Ryan Sandberg or whatever his name is, and me. Like right now, I've been on here for 2.5 hours, so that's 2.5 hours where I can't be Nick Johnson or the bare knuckle boxer or Pastor Will Duffy. Furthermore, some of those guys are like married and have families and kids and stuff. So what happens to their families and their kids? Like when I'm being Jake the Awake, are they just like waiting for daddy to come home from work? And then when I shapeshift, do I automatically shoot across the pond to the UK to be that bare knuckle boxer? Do I automatically shoot across the United States to be Nick Johnson? Because he says that I'm Nick Johnson, who runs a YouTube channel called Nick Johnson. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of Nick Johnson. And he thinks I'm Nick Johnson and I'm Pastor Duffy. Well, Pastor Duffy lives in Colorado. Nick Johnson lives in North Carolina, and I live in California. So apparently when I shapeshift, I also time travel or teleport across the country, right? Nothing crazy about that. He's made a rebuttal video about the accusations. Next, he said Jake looks like Keanu Reeves. That's not true. I don't look like Keanu Reeves, but I do an impression of dime store Keanu Reeves. You guys know who dime store Keanu Reeves is? I'm going to talk about P. Diddy at his parties. You guys, P. Diddy oiled up his black penis, and then he did freaky deaky things with Justin Bieber, and I'm really upset about the whole thing. Anybody know who I'm doing an impression of? Hi, I'm Dime Store Keanu Reeves lookalike. I do videos where I basically will just rant about fucking nothing that matters, and then I'm going to get 8 million views. I'm really upset right now that P. Diddy didn't get more prison time. It's really upsetting. He oiled up his black penis and he did freaky deaky things inside of children's booties, and I don't like it. There we go. Yes, Penguin Zero. I'm going to get 1 million views in less than 24 hours talking about how upset I am about the P. Diddy trial. He literally put his big black penis with baby oil on it inside of Justin Bieber's booty, and it really makes me upset.
That have been leveled against him. All right, if you haven't seen it, I recommend you go across to his channel and have a listen so that you can see firsthand for yourself just how dishonest these characters are that I expose here on my channel. All right, so if you have a look at this video here.
So he's just filming his fucking computer screen at this point, and he's calling this exposing. So he also says that I'm a bare knuckle boxer, which is hilarious because this guy lives in the UK and doesn't look like me.
This guy he's a bare knuckle boxer
who doesn't look like me. That's not how my fucking nose looks.
Over in the UK. I'll just bring his video up here. I'll give a little bit of volume.
Brett May back on YouTube.
So Penguin Zero gets a bunch of views because he's an industry plant. He's a shill. He's artificially inflated. The same with ass mongold clips. Huh, Epstein files? Huh, here's my reaction to the Epstein files. Huh, what the fuck? No way! Oh my God, Epstein files! Right? So Ask Mongold can just make like a fucking 2-minute video like that and get 3 million views in 24 hours. And there's all these fucking loser neckbeards who have to tune in for the latest Ask Mongold video. So yeah, how does Ask Mongold and fucking Penguin Zero collectively get tens of millions of views like every day? The only thing that makes sense is they're fucking shills who are artificially inflated, right? With bots and fucking fake view counts. Because I don't know anybody who actually likes that shit. So there you go. That's what Aaron Haywood's up to. Have I ever seen a UFO? There were a few times I saw these like little, almost look like little flashy orb things, and I've even seen like in the daylight these like orbs like floating around, and then like when I see them and I'm like, holy shit, then they like disappear. It's almost like they know that I'm looking at them, and then they disappear. But I haven't seen the orbs in a while, so it's been years since I've seen anything crazy in the sky. And then there was this one time I saw this like crazy gnarly green lightning flash that rippled across the sky. So it wasn't like regular lightning. It was like big and green, like right above my head. But it kind of had like a similar kind of like branch out lightning type thing. So I saw this crazy green fucking flash. And then other people saw the same thing. So I wasn't alone in my sighting. So it's not just me making up a story, but there were people on Facebook who live near me who were like, did anybody see that green flash in the sky last night? So yeah, I saw crazy green flash and then some orbs, but it's been a long time. I haven't seen anything lately. Jason G says, Jake, do you ever swim in the ocean? I do in Myrtle Beach, but don't go out far. Well, the Pacific Ocean is cold and it's not pleasant. So if I go over to the beach, I'll let the waves break on my feet, but I don't like to get in because it's just really cold. And so the only way to get in the Pacific Ocean is to go like down to like San Diego, and it's cold down there too. So the Pacific Ocean is just freaking cold. It's just not that fun to get into. So like little kids like it, and people who don't mind super cold water, they get in it, but I don't like cold ass water. I don't like to be all frigid and have my teeth chatter. And that's what happens if I get in the ocean, my teeth start chattering and I'm not happy. And then when I get out, then the cold wind, sea breeze hits my skin. No, thank you. So I like to swim, but now that I'm, an older guy, middle-aged guy, I'm not into being all cold and shit. I'm kind of a stickler as far as like, I don't like to be cold and I don't like to be too hot. I like my weather to be as perfect as possible. And I like my water to be like lukewarm or warm. I have never been to Myrtle Beach. So the East Coast is different. The Atlantic Ocean, for instance, I swam in the Atlantic Ocean when I was in Florida. It's much warmer and much more enjoyable. So on a hot, humid day in Florida, the Atlantic Ocean can feel great. But in California, if you go from the middle of the state to the coast, like in Santa Cruz, it'll only be like 75 degrees outside, right? So it'll be like 100 degrees in the middle of California. But then you go over to Santa Cruz, it's 75 degrees. So it's already not nearly as hot when you get there. And then you put your feet in, and it's like, woo, I ain't getting in there. Fuck that, right? So it's a whole different experience, East Coast to West Coast, as far as the ocean and the beaches are concerned. If you're looking for swimming and lounging around on the beach and stuff, like well, they both got their ups and downs, I guess. So if you're looking more to swim, the Atlantic is better. But if you like more of like a picturesque beach with like rocks and stuff, and you like to walk up and down the beach and pick up shells and driftwood and rocks and stuff, then California and Oregon are much better. So it just depends what you like to do when you go to the beach. Boosh Comics says, I want to formally apologize for going against you, thinking that the Bengals would be propped up by Goodell after Burrow injury. You were right. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Bro, don't worry about it. In fact, I got discouraged after having a bad week last week. I had a couple picks that I got wrong, and there were some people bitching at me and blaming them for making them lose money, as they put it. So I actually don't even feel like making picks this week. So don't apologize, man. Everybody, who tries to predict what's going to happen with the NFL every week, you're bound to get a bunch of shit wrong. Some weeks you'll get a bunch of picks right, and then other weeks you'll get some picks wrong. So, for instance, if I make picks and I do good, people are like, you're a legend. You're the best. You're the GOAT. And then if I have a week where I do slightly bad, they're like, your picks sucked ass. You better not give away shitty picks like that next week. If you give away any more losing picks, I'm going to unsubscribe from you. So people are real volatile when it comes to the football picks and shit. So that's what makes me not like giving out picks, is if I have a bad week, people turn into complaining bitches. So thank you, Boosh Comics, for the super chat. And no need to apologize. That was one of the games I got right, but I got 2 other games wrong, and then I pushed on another game. So last week I went 1-2-1. 1-2-1. 1 win, 2 losses, and 1 push. And that was enough for people to throw a fucking fit and complain and bitch. So this week I looked at the slate of games and I was like, if I say that any of these teams are going to pull an upset and then they don't, people are going to bitch and complain. So just not going to make a pick this week. Maybe next week I will, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll make some picks when the playoffs come, or maybe I won't. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of wait and see what happens. And if there's any games that pop out to me in the future that I feel like making picks, I will. But this week, no picks for anybody. The people who bitched at me for having 2 wrong picks, yeah, they ruined it for everyone. Yeah, and one Ballers, who was like a paying member and who has sent super chats in the past, last week in all caps during my live stream. You made me lose money on your picks, in all caps. It's like, dude, like I'm obligated to only give out winning picks, or else you're going to fucking show up to my live streams and blame me for you losing money on my picks. I specifically tell people to bet at your own risk. So yeah, shit like that makes me not want to do picks. And if I don't get the ad revenue, or I lose the subscribers who only care about picks, oh well. Guess I'll just have to do an extra live stream or something. Make up the difference somewhere else. Why does the Pacific get warmer the further south you go? Fuck, I don't know, man. It's like the equator has more warmer weather throughout the year. And so the water down there near the equator is generally warmer. Because the Mexicans piss in the water. Good one. I approve. Mexicans piss in the water. Works for me.
Hey man, if you go down to Mexico, man, the reason why the water is so warm, man, is because all of us Mexicanos are pissing in the ocean. The ocean down here is mostly just piss, you know. It's like 70% piss and like 30% actual ocean, you know, man. But I don't mind, you know, because it's nice and warm, man.
There you go. Cheech doesn't mind. I'm Rig says, are you the one that came up with we see our own sun? Or was it Q bitch? That was something that I don't know if he's the first one to come up with that, but his work actually opened my eyes to it. So I will give him credit for his flat earth work, but him stabbing me in the back and turning on me and then projecting a bunch of gay shit and sex with dogs onto me. Yeah, that's what spoiled the whole thing with Q. So yeah, it's a shame that he did that. All because I decided to start a membership. So yeah, too bad about that guy. September Clue says Jake is the only FE left. That's why they hold him back. And you know what? I'm kind of like, there's not much to talk about the subject anymore. Like there's no like new major discovery for me to bring you, right? And I've already presented pretty much everything I can about this place that I know of. And a lot of people reject that. So I talked about how we all see our own independent angle to the sun, and the angles at which we all see the sun don't triangulate to one singular sun. It's as if each of us sees our own sun. But there's people who just go, nuh-uh. Or, oh, it's perspective, you know. Or, oh, it's because there's two suns. It's like, no, it's not because there's two suns. It's like everyone sees their own sun. No. So it comes down to like whatever anybody just decides in their own head. So the problem with the flat earth subject, a lot of people have already made up their mind on what they think this place is. And there's not that many people who have an open mind who want to learn anything new. And then there's a bunch of people still like holding on to debunked shill shit, you know, like a single circling sun and circling moon. And then there's shills still pushing that debunked shit still. So the problem with trying to push any new flat earth information is there's a bunch of debunked shill shit still being pushed, and a lot of people just don't really care anymore. It's like the subject came and went. And then with guys like Jaren and Pastor Will Duffy and shit, you know, Jaron flip-flopping and stuff. It kind of soured the taste of a lot of, put a sour taste in a lot of flat earthers' mouths as far as who can you trust and who you can't. So if you were a dipshit flat earther following, you know, Jaron, and then you found out that he's a shill, it might discourage you from looking into it any further, which is essentially what they wanted to do with that psyop anyway. So yeah, I'm one of the few genuine guys who knows that Earth isn't a globe and has made content about it. But if I was to make a new video about it, not that many people would watch it, and then a bunch of people would just deny it, you know. Well, how does this work? We'll explain how this works. That's another thing. If you make a flat Earth video of any kind and you come up with any sort of new model or new way that the sun works different from that circling sun and circle moon, then you get people attacking you and trying to ask got you questions. Well, how does this work? Explain how this works over on this part of the map. And then it's like I have to sit there and explain a bunch of shit in the comments only for people to just fucking argue and not accept what I'm saying anyway. So kind of became a pain in the ass to even make flat Earth content. And it's like the amount of people who care anymore, it's like become like a tiny little niche. It's like not even worth it. Dale Hess says, I still can't afford a membership. Sends me $20 super chat and says he can't afford a membership. That's hilarious. That's why he put laughing emojis in his own super chat. It's because he knows he's being funny. Shit, Dale, you could have bought 10 people memberships with that. You're being greedy. Making a joke about how you can't afford a membership. Sending me the whole super chat when you could have bought 10 memberships. Just kidding, bro. I appreciate the super chat. It's actually generous and it's kind of funny. Not only does he play the role of a UK bare-knuckle boxer, he also plays the role of John Am. Jake the shape-shifting icon, he's a mouldy roller. He's John Am. He's Jason Gould. All right, he's Aphrodite. He's a bare-knuckle boxer in the UK. And he's Nick Johnson. I don't understand how he's got enough bloody time in the day to shapeshift between all of these different characters, but he does. It's bloody black magic. Jason Jesus, Jake, who was your favorite actor? I used to really like Jim Carrey when I was a kid. I mean, when I was a kid, so many of his movies came out in the theater and were big hits. And people back in the 90s would repeat lines from movies. And people would go to movies and they would be like, oh, did you see that one part? And then people would fucking repeat the movie lines at school, right? So it was very common to, you know, see a movie like Dumb and Dumber. And then everybody at school saw Dumb and Dumber, you know? Everybody at school saw The Mask. And everybody saw Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Everybody, right? Only a stupid kid wouldn't go watch those funny movies. And then like Liar Liar came out, and that was like another huge blockbuster for Jim Carrey. So when I was younger, he was one of my favorites because he had the physical humor and his movies were just funny to go watch. So it was back in a time where people would go to the theater and the theater would just be like nonstop laughs the entire time, right? And other people's laughs would like make you laugh. So it was like an infectious thing that would happen. back in the 90s, you know, somebody like Adam Sandler, like his movie quotes were repeated at school. So anybody who grew up in the 90s like I did, you might remember people would be like, yeah, shut up. Stop looking at me, swan. Right? People would say Adam Sandler's fucking shit from his movies. So yeah, anytime there was like a popular movie that everybody would go watch and there was like a popular quote from the movie, it was a strong chance you were going to hear that at school. Yeah, I know Jim Carrey is an actor and in the big club. We're talking about when I was a little kid. So when I was a kid, I didn't know about Masons and the world stage and club members and humiliation rituals. I didn't know about any of that until way, way later in life. So when I was a kid, I believed what I was being taught in school, right? And I used to enjoy shit on TV like a total sheep. But things were different back then. The shows and the movies had actual talented actors who actually could do a decent job acting, right? So nobody can deny that Jim Carrey is a talented actor and did his best work in the 90s and the funniest stuff he ever did back in the 90s. Nobody can deny that. Is he in the big club? For sure, right? But if you look at the comedians back then, he definitely could do stuff with his face and his body that the other actors weren't doing or couldn't do. So when I was a kid, yeah, I totally thought Jim was one of the funniest dudes. Like he on In Living Color, he clearly stood out amongst the black folks, right? So you had the Wayans and David Allen Greer, right? They were like big stars on the show. But Jim Carrey, his goofy fucking characters that he did and all his different impressions and stuff he did, his work stood out. And then Ace Ventura, I remember that at first I was kind of annoyed by Ace Ventura, but then he grew on me. And then once he did Dumb and Dumber, I went and saw that in the theater. And oh my God, it was like the funniest thing at the time to go watch Dumb and Dumber in the theater. But like I said, that was back when a lot of people went to movies and movies like were the thing. And there was like this vibe that when you got to the movie, you were all excited and shit. There was this whole vibe where it's like you would sit and watch the previews and be like eating popcorn. Ooh, this looks good. I want to see that. Oh, right. You like are put into a trance by the movie. Whereas I remember the day all that ended. Like, well, I don't remember the exact day, but it was like 15, 20 years ago. It just stopped. The movie stopped being good. I stopped having fun going to the movies. They became too expensive. The snacks at the movies became too expensive. So then it started to become like a ripoff. So I remember it was probably 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I was like, man, movies suck now. And I just stopped going. I can't even remember the last time I actually went and watched a movie in the theater. It's been a while. It's been a while since I saw a movie in the theater. And I really can't remember. Kids in the Hall had some funny sketches for sure. I actually remember a Kids in the Hall sketch, and it was a song. It was Bruce McCullough, and he sang a song. He said, "These are the Daves I know, I know. These are the Daves I know. These are the Daves I know, I know. These are the Daves I know. David McGrady, he works at the local store. He has been there for 5 years, and I think he'll be there for more." Something like that. These are the Daves I know song. These are the Daves I know, I know. These are the Daves I know. Does anybody remember that? This guy does. Craig and Amanda Craig and Amanda got married. Craig and Amanda Duder. Sorry, bro. You have a name that made me say extra times just to be a dick. Richard Smith, Jake, you want 300,000 $33 and 333 or $300 and 33.333 cents. I don't know. Through PayPal, I have to debate Steve. What would we debate? He's a loser cyber bully, and I'm the world's funniest comedian and greatest truth teller who ever lived. What would we possibly debate? What's he gonna say? Jake's a demon. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Prove I'm a demon. Look at your eyes. Everyone's got eyes. Just because I can make my eyes bulge out whenever I feel like it doesn't mean I'm a demon. It just means I have control over my face like Jim Carrey, right? So I'm a physical comedian, similar to like Jim Carrey used to be. And I can do funny things with my face, like make my eyes bulge out. And so guys like Steven like to point at my eyes and say that I'm a demon, but really I'm just a funny guy who likes to make his eyes bulge out whenever I feel like it. Debate over. I win! I thought about going on his channel and making fun of him in his own voice, but giving him attention's what he wants, you know. He thrives on attention. So right now he can say that I'm obsessed with him and that I watch his channel and look at Jake, he's talking about me. He's a demon. He's obsessed with me, right? So he'll use this to like fuel his content, which is what he wants. Will Duffy quit. See, I can't even have a debate with Will Duffy because he quit. But of course, I'm a shapeshifter who plays the role of Will Duffy. So the reason why Will Duffy quit is so I don't have to play his part anymore. Victor Conejo 760 says, Jake, you're the shit. Oh, thank you. Thank you for calling me the shit. You're their shit. Jake, you're their shit. Oh, I read it wrong. I thought you were calling me the shit. Like Jake is the shiznit. He's the shiznito bam slip slap slip-tastic slappy, yo. I thought that's what you meant. But you said, Jake, you are their shit. It's not quite as good as me being the shit. I'd rather be the shit than their shit. All right. All right, we're hitting the 3-hour mark. Guess that would be a good enough time for me to wrap this stream up. I had fun tonight. Let me make sure I got all caught up on super chats before I take off. Oh, looks like I did have a comedic request come in through super chat. So before I wrap it up, let me go ahead and get to this last super chat that came in. From Globetard Gullible. I like it. Globetard Gullible. Great name. Says, can we get your reaction to watching Russian vids about you? Oh, well, I've already done that in several streams in the past. I've called them out for being a lying fucking bitch shill. And I've even debunked the living shit out of them several times. So, why don't we go back in time and watch one of my debunk videos. It's short and quick and easy, which debunks Russian vids, proves he's a fucking no good shill liar. I'm guessing maybe you haven't seen it. Because, yeah, whenever he makes a video about me, he generally just repeats the same shit that I've already debunked. All right. So check it out. We go to my channel. Jake the Asshole. We scroll back. We watch a commercial real quick. There we go. I'll even speed it up a bit.
And welcome back to my channel. Now in this video, I'm going to be responding to the worst hit piece video that was ever made about me. Now, there is a delusional dimwit out there who goes by the name of They Live Truth. He used to go by the name of Russian Vids. It probably doesn't ring a bell because he's completely irrelevant and has been irrelevant for many years. So this dim-witted, delusional fellow whom I speak of, he dupes his audience into believing some of the silliest things, such as he tells his audience that the sun shrinks into a tiny dot, shrinks into a tiny little pinprick, and disappears. It's his claim that the sun never actually sets. It just shrinks as it moves away from you and turns into a little dot and disappears. He says that this only happens at certain locations around the Earth. Now, I have debunked this silly notion in the past, but he recently made an entire video doubling down on this silly notion that the sun shrinks into a freaking dot. So I asked my audience during a live stream, hey, you guys, have you ever seen the sun shrink into a little tiny dot? And of course, the unanimous answer was no, never, not ever once, from everyone in my chat. Because, you know, the sun doesn't shrink into a dot, of course. Now, I said, there are some YouTube videos out there which might make it look like the sun is shrinking. But in real life, with your own two eyes, have you ever seen the sun shrink into a tiny dot and then disappear? And everyone unanimously agreed, no, it doesn't do that. Of course not. So in today's video, we are going to debunk this silly, delusional man and all his silly claims. So strap in. We're about to have a whole lot of fun.
So let me ask you guys this question I asked earlier. Let me ask again. How many of you guys have seen the sun shrink into a tiny little dot with your own eyes? Not in a YouTube video. With your own eyes. How many of you guys have seen the sun get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it's like a little pinprick of nothing? Be honest. With your own eyes. Not a YouTube video. What you have seen. I personally have never seen any examples of that ever. Every time I've ever seen the sun with my own two eyes setting, it gets a little bit bigger as it hits the horizon, and it never, ever once has ever shrank into a dot, ever in my life.
That's because you're a complete imbecile that doesn't understand the most basic, fundamental things about the flat Earth model. Let's get right to it. With the video footage I showed from my previous video with the sunset in Africa, where obviously you see the sun going towards the horizon and shrinking, getting smaller as it goes towards the horizon. This is obvious. And imbecile fake Jake doesn't understand what is taking place here.
So if you're following along, RV has claimed that the sun does indeed shrink into a little itty bitty teeny weeny dot, but You have to go to Africa in order to see it do that. That's his claim. I didn't make that up. I'm not straw manning him. That's his claim. Now, rather than just take RV's word for it, that everyone in Africa sees the sun shrink into a little tiny dot, I decided to see if there was any other video examples of the sun setting in Africa. Shocker, there are. And guess what? They don't look like the one that RV showed. And the sun doesn't shrink into a tiny dot. So here's a few examples I found within a couple minutes of looking right here on YouTube. Roll them. So within a few minutes of searching for sunsets in Africa, I came across this video on a really small channel with only 22 subs. Now, I don't know who this girl is, but it appears that she is in Africa right now, and she's posting recent footage of the sun setting in Africa.
So here's a sunset in Africa, and it doesn't fucking shrink into a dot. I found other videos.
Africa, a visual poem by Christian Chris Zen. I wonder if he's a real Christian or if he's a fake Christian like RV. I wonder if RV would consider this guy a fake Christian for posting real footage of the sun going down in Africa. Look, it's not shrinking into a dot. Show that.
So I showed these sunsets where the sun doesn't shrink into a fucking dot.
What up, y'all? And welcome.
So there's an easy debunk. Russian vids will lie to you, tell you that the sun shrinks into a dot. You say, I've never seen the sun shrink into a dot. Oh, fake Jake is such an imbecile. He doesn't know that in Africa, the sun shrinks into a dot. So then I look up sunsets in Africa and I find many different examples of the sun not shrinking into a fucking dot. That's how easy it is to debunk this motherfucker. A quick search here on YouTube debunks Russian vids. Russian vids is a lying disinformation agent who hides his face, won't give you his name, won't give you any details about his life, but he calls me fake Jake. Imagine calling someone fake Jake while you hide your face and don't give your name and fucking promote that the sun shrinks into a dot. So there you go. All right, then I had a couple more super chats come in while that video was playing. Let me get to these. No NFL picks. Sorry, buddy. First and goal. Yeah, I had a not a very good week last week, and people started to bitch and complain. I looked at the slate of games for this week. I just don't know. I don't know who's going to win. Don't know who's going to lose. Don't know who's going to cover. So you can do your best to try and figure it out. I really just don't give a shit. So I don't care who wins or loses or covers. I'll just point out the fake gameplay in my top 10 most scripted plays of the week. And I'll just do an extra live stream or make an extra video and get that ad revenue somewhere else besides making a pick video. So I don't know if I'll quit making picks for good, but for now, I just don't feel like making any picks, and I ain't gonna. Good luck if you decide to bet on any of those phony games tomorrow. All right. I think that's like the third super chat where I've told people I'm not making picks tonight. Holden said, did you catch what happened the other night? I have the link. I think you sent me an email. I think I watched one of your videos that you sent me. I'm pulling up the link on my end right now. One sec. All right. Now it should be in my watch history. Okay, here's a video coming in from Holden. Well, Holden sharing the link. put it to normal speed. All right, here we go. Fiery lights in the sky stun onlookers.
What in the? Oh my God! I can see the fire. That is so sick. Beautiful.
Some interesting video coming into the KCRA 3 newsroom from across the region as a group of fiery lights streaked across the sky, stunning onlookers.
You know what's not stunning? This footage. I mean, what are we supposed to make of this, right? You got a vertical footage. It's not zoomed in. So this is like, you know, something that you could create with some fireworks, right? This looks like it could just be some regular old fireworks. But we're talking about this being stunning. Yeah, I don't see anything stunning whatsoever.
Fire. That is so sick. Beautiful.
Some interesting video coming into the KCRA 3 newsroom from across the region as a group of fiery lights streaked across the sky, stunning onlookers. This video was shot from Yuba City, and those lights were moving from west to east across the sky. Good evening, and thank you for joining us here for our News at 11. I'm Edie Lambert.
I'm Galston Dart. We've been getting calls and video from viewers all over the region tonight, and whatever it certainly was eye-catching.
Whoa, look up. Whoa, something's burning up in the sky.
That was the scene before 8 o'clock tonight in Roseville. That particular viewer was showing off the lights on his fence when that other light show caught his attention.
Roseville.
It's the Transformers, dog.
That was video out of Auburn. That viewer compared the lights to a scene out of a Transformers movie.
It's the Transformers, dog. That's the least impressive footage of any UFO I've ever seen, actually. It's like some flares, some fucking fireworks. Kelly Yamaguchi said, ever thought about exposing the paranormal, Jake? Well, I don't know exactly what you'd classify as paranormal that needs to be exposed. So I guess you would need to be more specific. And then, like, paranormal isn't really my thing. Like, I'm not really like there's haunted spirits at this hospital, you know, this old insane asylum is haunted or whatever. So I'm not really into that sort of stuff. So I don't know if I'd be the best guy for exposing paranormal. So I mainly like to cover the scripted news, the stage shenanigans on the world stage. So perhaps somebody else would be better suited for exposing the paranormal. And again, I don't know exactly what specifically you mean. So maybe if you could be more specific, I could have a look at something specific related to the paranormal, if that makes sense. Shady Davy D said, you can always join me tomorrow in the lair. All right, if I'm not doing nothing tomorrow, maybe I can pop into your stream. I should probably make some new content. I've been meaning to make some non-football content, like some vlogs and stuff, you know, just walk around and talk about different stuff going on in the world. And I haven't made any new non-football content as far as long form videos are concerned. So I was thinking of working on some videos tomorrow, or a video tomorrow, but I might be able to pop in your stream. What time are you going to be streaming, Davey? I think I've caught up on these super chats.
Is that? That's scary and cool at the same time.
Pretty much sums up how some folks felt, scary and cool all at once. Well, check out this video that's from Sacramento. It was helpful. The clouds we saw last night at this time had already blown away, really giving us just these nice, crisp images. And here's an idea of just how large of an area this was spotted in. These are views from Orangevale, Granite Bay, Rancho Cordova, Vacaville, and Stockton.
All right, with more, meteorologist Dorfer Dorn is...
Look, guys. Orangevale, Granite Bay, Rancho Cordova, clearly these are aliens. Look, I can see the alien inside the UFO. Can you guys see the alien? He's waving. Hi, aliens. Hi. I hope they're friendly aliens and not mean ones. I always wanted a friendly alien to come visit and be my pal. After I watched the movie E.T., I've always hoped that aliens come visit me and that they're friendly and that we can hang out and I can show the alien to all my friends and they'd be all jealous that the alien landed at my place and not theirs. Yeah, somebody needs to call Will Smith so that he can welcome these guys to Earth. Welcome to Earth. I'm Will Smith. What a wonderful news report.
Been looking into what those were. Dirk, have you been able to narrow it down?
Yeah, I don't know for certain, but there's some things you want to look for to kind of decide whether or not this was possibly a meteor or was this some space debris that's going across our sky. So these are the things you look for when you're trying to get an idea of what this could be. As a meteor is going to be traveling along at a much higher rate of speed. It also is going to burn out faster, and it also can come at you from all different angles. I've seen numerous meteors where it's just come straight down, and they've been very bright and moving very fast, and they burn up. The other thing about space debris is it's going to travel a bit slower. It's going to last.
All right. I'm glad we have that guy in front of a green screen pointing at these words. That's how you know it's either meteors or UFOs or something. It's either meteors, UFOs, fire in the sky, fireworks, CGI, AI, aliens.
Or it's the Anunnaki. I think it's the Anunnaki coming back to visit the Nephilims.
All right. There you go. I think that's a good time to wrap this sumbitch up and call it a night. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on another Saturday night here. Please tune in to the most scripted plays of the week and Truth or Tuesday, or the next video that you see that I upload. Make sure to check it out and make sure to give this stream a like. If you're still here, before you leave, before we say goodnight, everybody here, hit the like button. Everybody hit that like button right now. Please, please, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would really appreciate it. If we can convince YouTube that everybody likes me, maybe they'll promote me to more people. I think that's how it works. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you to everybody who participated here in the chat. Extra big special thank yous to everyone who sent super chats. I really super extra appreciate it. Your guys' super chats help keep the world's funniest comedian in business. You help keep the greatest truth teller in business. You are supporting a non-AI channel, which is awesome. Support non-AI talent such as myself. So until next time, this is your favorite comedian and mine, signing out. Peace out. Much love. Catch you on the flip side. Good night. Sleep tight. And don't let them bed bugs bite.